What up, though?
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good?
I'm good. You know you're recording right now, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I'll if I don't, I'll forget. I'll just edit it later. But
Oh, okay.
I stop it and then forget to start it back up. So it is what it is.
Got you.
But I'm glad you could hear me. Let me see if I can get the. I'm still not used to all this new technology. I'm just really getting used to it.
We should did a practice round.
I mean, I did this before, but it's just I got it's not second nature yet.
I got you. You'll get it. You'll be good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So
You got my video off.
yeah. I know. You watching 600 Pound Life probably.
No, not yet. I do gotta catch up though. I did DoorDash me something to eat because I'm hungry. I thought it would have been here by now. I got me a salad and get my life together.
Man, I can't endure that shit solid.
Why not?
No, it's not enough, man. For me to order DoorDash, first of all, they charge you like a percentage of the meal, so solid.
I mean, yeah, but I ain't had time to go get something. Plus, I'm lazy today. I'm like, yeah, I could save 30% if I go get it, but I just want to go to my door.
No. So everybody filling in, if you could hear us, please just tab yes, just to make sure you guys can hear us pretty good. That's it. All right, but I see you coming in. All right, let me see Q&A.
Yeah, they comment in the chat saying they can hear.
All right, good, perfect. All right.
Well, I gotta look at your message about the order. Let me pull that up. Oh, you got a couple people on here. That's what's up.
All right, I was sitting here talking to you, and I was on mute. All right, Chris, what's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. How you?
Oh, good, man. I'm happy you made it. I know you running around, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know between that, and Clubhouse, your days be packed.
Man, I just, I hang out on Clubhouse. I don't talk that much. I'm just up there.
Nah. Listen, you know what though? I like Clubhouse a lot. It's just that the first few weeks I spent too much time on it.
Hello.
And so it kind of burned me out.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yo, well,
what's up, man? How you guys? How's everybody doing?
He's talking to y'all, Chris and Asia.
My bad. What up, though?
How's you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love your accent, man.
Who, me? I got an accent?
Hell yeah, you do. Compared to us New Yorkers, you do.
Y'all got the accent.
Oh man, damn.
That's what's up. What's your IG? I gotta make sure I'm following you.
ATMYBEST at my best 197.
All right. Let me follow now. All right, I just followed you.
I gotta check you.
Now, when you go to my page, that's the personal page. I'm gonna give you a little warning.
No worries.
Like the business page is a little more calm, but the personal page we get it in.
Got you.
Ramon, what's up? Good evening, sir.
Hey, how you doing, young man?
Hey man, I'm out here, man, making it happen. I think I'm older than you probably.
Maybe, I don't know. But anytime I get to hang with Asia and Chris, I feel good.
What up, Raymond?
What's up, darling? How you doing?
I'm good.
You gave them that warning, that R-rated, that X-rated warning.
Off
Jesus
top.
Christ.
That be the contractor in me sometime, man. I gotta work on that. I done got better though.
Okay.
You said you got better. Hey, you know what,
Yeah,
man?
let's
So
improve it.
you know, I try to be me and like most of the time, but now I find myself in different circles and trying to do bigger things. I was honest, I was happy just kind of coasting, making my money under the radar, you know, but now I'm thinking about doing some bigger things. So I might have to do a whole, you know, social media purge, you know, what I got going on.
Listen, I have the same attitude like you, man. I mean, I'm looking to really turn it up this year, you know?
Yeah.
Why not? You know, we've been quiet a bit too long. 2020 kept us quiet for a good minute, you know, so.
Fact.
All right, let me just text bro. Maybe 1 second.
And nice to meet you. I think I'm pronouncing your name right. Welby? Is that how I
Well,
pronounce it?
yeah,
Nice to meet you,
Ramon. Nice to meet you, brother. What city you out of?
Anywhere I need to be.
Oh, good for you. I like that.
I'm based out of Atlanta, man.
Atlanta. I mean,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, that's the first city I started buying out of, man. Atlanta. I was in Duluth,
Okay.
the Cooler, man, Stone Mountain. I got killed, bro. This is years ago, though.
Well, you still here. You didn't get killed.
Yeah. How about this? Good lessons. I got a lot of lessons out there.
That's right. I gotta change my profile picture. Chris be too clean on his pictures and stuff, man.
Ain't he suited and booted?
Yeah, man, he stay like that. You know, he got some soft gators on or something over there.
You probably got some Marvies on in the dog.
Probably so, man. You know how he do it.
I got some purple Uggs on, bro. Purple Uggs.
What's up, Chris?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Chris, what's up, bro?
What's going on, brother?
So Raymond, what you got going on down in the A?
It's work every day, you know.
Facts.
Yep, just work as much as we can get done.
I hear that. I'm waiting on my next flip. I'm waiting on this title to come back. They have out some stuff, so hopefully they can clear it up.
Yeah, I got a new student that wants to do stuff in Detroit. I told him, I said, we got some strong connections in Detroit, so don't worry. You know, when he's ready for it, he can, you know, we got a heck of a team up there, so I don't have any problem in Detroit.
Right, you good up here.
Yep, I see punts on here.
Yeah, I just commented to him, told him what up, though. Yeah, he good people too.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I see Chris on here. What up, Chris? Chris Mitchell. Me and him went to Jackson State together.
Jackson State getting ready to be so crunk.
Dog, Jackson State but Jackson's so behind. And it's like, I've been telling them for years, like they 10 years behind everybody else. Like, and now it's like they forced to hurry up and try to catch up as far as real estate development, everything, because we don't have the infrastructure at Jackson to, you know, house all this stuff that's about to come as far as people coming to the games now.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
they'll catch up.
no, Jackson State about to be ugly. They got the nice facilities going on now. Yeah, they are. And now your homecoming should be, I mean, not, I don't know this year, but next year your homecoming definitely be crazy.
Well, they doing a spring homecoming. We got a spring season, so I probably won't go to that because my nephew will be here. So I'm definitely gonna be at that fall one. But I'm gonna probably go to the spring Southern game. We play Chris little sorry school. You know, he went to Southern.
I didn't know you went to Southern, Chris.
I'm sorry. What was that gibberish? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, we got NCCU, we was in the MEAC. I know what we're doing right now. We kind of all over the place.
I think they got rid of the MEAC.
No, they're saying they were, no, they didn't get rid of MEAC. It's just not what it used to be.
What was Fam in? Because Fam just came to our conference and
Fam was in the MEAC, and then it went elsewhere, and then yeah, I think Hampton and Fam left the MEAC.
dang, I think Bethune did cool, or either they was talking about it. I don't know if it happened.
Man, I think Bethune, they too small, man. They too small to really.
We played them in Atlanta in 19. That was a nice game.
I see Rashana just hopped on. What's up, Rashana? If Al don't jump on like the next minute or two, you probably could go ahead and get started.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, everybody.
So,
Hey, Rod.
What up? What up? Chris, Malik.
What's that?
Got the fam on here.
no, man. Yeah, we out here, man. Y'all the
Been
party
in these
managers, though.
streets all day, in and out of properties, working.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what though, man. I had it not been for COVID, I wouldn't even be on the screen, man. But since COVID, I've been in the house hard. I've been learning. I've been learning a lot in the house. You know, we're learning how to manage. You know, I see y'all, but y'all like, you know, down there with Ramon and them.
Oh, they wide open in Atlanta. They never
Yeah,
closed.
Atlanta, the flyers to the strip club got everybody a mask on. Like, that's not really how viruses work, sir. You have to viruses work through touch.
I think Houston open. Well, yeah, Texas open. I don't think Texas ever closed.
Chris.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, they shut it down to about 25% occupancy for a minute, but we back about 75%.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, we closed a bunch down, man, but it was you know, it wasn't open like Atlanta and Texas was. We was definitely closed for a minute. But we back. We not back 100% just yet, but y'all getting that vaccine?
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
I think I might take it though. I mean, I might like not the beta tester, man. It'd be like around June or July, something like that, when they get some more data. Oh, you got in. I see you. What's up, Alex? So you got
Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Hey, but before you take it, go ahead and put me on some of your operating agreements.
Right, gonna add me to that policy.
Yeah. Listen, man, you know, I got an autoimmune disease, man. I can't mess around these streets, and I can't mess around. You know, I'd rather take it just in case, man. So, like I said, it's like a few different versions. Like AstraZeneca got one now, and Pfizer got one, and you know, so I think I'm gonna take it. But like I said, give me till, you know, not the first round. I want to wait till they get some more data, till they can analyze the data, man, and go and get started.
It'll take me about 5 years before I get that vaccine.
5 years?
Because that's normally, they said this vaccine came out way too fast. They said, I forgot what last thing happened, but that vaccine took 4 years and that was fast.
That was Ramon, I'm sure.
No.
No, that was my phone. I went on Instagram to post and somebody video.
Okay. All right. So,
Man.
all right. Since you good, man?
Yep, I'm good.
What's
All
up,
right.
Al? What's up, Rashawn?
Not too much, bro. What's going on?
All right.
That's
What's
great
up?
to
What's
hear.
up?
All right. Anybody turning the cameras on or no? Everybody camera off?
It said you disabled it.
I disabled it.
Yeah, that's why I told you when I first logged in, like, I guess we can't, you know, show our face.
Oh
today.
no.
Cool. You know, bad hair day, so that's cool.
No, I'm gonna change it. You can turn yours off. I'm gonna change it though. Huh. Hey, so you know what I may have to.
No, you got to go in your settings and do it.
I can do it from here.
Yeah, you should be able to do it from there. I'm trying to see what you got to click on. Hold on. Yeah, but it's in your settings. You should be able to do it from being live right now.
All right, let me see advanced. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do, Adrian? I'm gonna make you the host and see if that works, right? Make you the host and you can turn your camera on. You gonna do
All
that?
right.
All right.
Yeah, you probably got to make everybody the host.
All right, I'm gonna make you the host first.
All right. All right, now I'm the host.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so now we go down the list. Make the next person the host.
So once you make them the host, then they got to turn their camera on.
Yeah, who's the host now? No, you have to make them the host. You're the host now, so I can't. You're the
Oh,
host.
you're not the host at all right now?
No, it's only you. So you have to make it the next person the host.
Oh. All right, so I did Chris.
All right, so Chris. So yeah, if you don't, yeah, okay, there we go. Yo, now it's getting better. Now we go to the next person.
You got to take a Zoom 101, dog.
Yeah. No, don't mean this. Don't mean this 101. All right.
I made Ramon the host. Ramon, you can set your camera on.
Okay, we getting it together. I feel better now. I thought you was all hiding from me.
I'm gonna make let's see, Welby, make you the host.
I'm the host now.
No, Alex says Alex is the host.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So
Well,
then,
Alex.
but look like Alex on the phone. Is he on the phone?
I just switched over to my computer. I figured it out.
All right, so if you're the host now, so you can turn your camera on and pass it to the next person.
Oh, I'm the host.
Yeah, you're the host.
All right. Let me
You should
figure
have been
out.
able to make everybody the host on your side, though.
Yeah.
That's all right, y'all. We'll get it.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm an old
Crowd
man.
of you.
Man. I'm an old man. I'm trying to learn this new technology. There you go. What's up?
All right. How I do this? How I move it to the next person?
All right, so over on the right side, over on their name, it'll say more, and when you click more, you make them the host. So yeah, you're going to go to either Rashana or Welby.
Harold said there was a way to click on it and press it for everybody at one time.
Yeah.
Everyone at the
Well, I
top
mean,
of the
I was looking. We almost there now. I was looking. You know, this is like.
Listen, you say at the top of the screen on the view bar, click for all. I'm the host now. So what the hell do I do now? Oh boy.
Listen to Howard. Nah, just turn your camera on. You see it?
Turn my camera on.
There we
Man.
go.
All
There
right.
we go. Now you can just pass it to Rashana, turn her camera
How?
on, and then we all good.
How do I pass it?
Just go ahead. When you go over her name and click more, and you can
We
make her
playing past the host.
That's a
To
good
who,
game.
Rashana?
pass the host.
Musical host, cheers.
Nah, listen, this is like a team building exercise.
Go ahead. That's the way you do it.
I don't know. Did I do it? Did I do it?
No, we can't see Rashana yet.
Oh God, you got you got the wrong person doing this crap.
All right, go to like where Rashana is, and it should be like some little 3 dots up in the right hand corner of her little area, and then you should be able to click on that and then scroll down.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
I'm on my phone.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Okay, good. Thank you. You got me nervous there.
I ain't see it. All right. So Rashana, you are now the host.
Hey y'all.
All right.
You're gonna have to pass it back to me for 1 second so I can cut my camera back on.
Oh, you can have it back. Hold on. Let me see. Pass the host.
Rashana, send some of that money when you sending that right there too.
Make host. Okay, so I'm no longer the host.
Yeah, no, Ramon's the host now.
All right, I got it.
All right, there we go. Listen, we done. Wait, we lose somebody?
It's coming back to you, Malik.
All right, but we'll be gone.
I don't know what happened. It said I can't start the video.
Oh man. Well, we don't mess us up, man. We was that. We was perfect.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, I clicked the button that says allow panel to start video. All right, I got you. It's the button that said allow panel to start video. So you should be able to do it now. You can turn your video on. This
Okay,
gonna be an outtake right here.
We good to go now.
and you gotta post like all of this.
It doesn't. At least
No, the audience is ready.
Hey, listen. At least I figured it out. So now next time I know how to do it. One button, make everybody turn the mic on and off. I found the button. It's 3 buttons at the bottom. It was at the top. It's not that. It's on the bottom. So now I know for next time. But listen, for everybody, thanks for tuning in and bearing with us, through this journey. Like I said, I'm new. It's my 3rd webinar, so I'm just getting used to it, but I definitely want to thank the panelists, for definitely being here too. This is just, an awesome cast, guys that, showing up on their Saturday night. They could be doing anything else, but we're here, to share the information for you guys, and hopefully we'll have some connections made for some people in the audience, and you guys will get some information to execute on. Everyone is in different phases of their real estate journey, and all of us have different goals in our different markets. But seeing as though we have this technology, we might as well use it, to connect. And one thing that I always tell people, man, is like the internet, make the world like super small. When I felt like, I met, like for instance, right, when I met Chris at the EYL event, back in January, but before the world changed. You know what, Chris, that was a bad time. Kobe died that day, coronavirus the next week, that was a bad time, man. But so yeah, after I met him, like, we embraced, like I already knew him, and I realized after the fact, like, man, I never even met him, but it just felt like we already knew each other just from the communication, from social media. And so it's changing times, man, like I said. So we wanted to just bring you guys, the information. So now, just so the audience, it's already a lot of questions in the chat. We're definitely not going to be able to get to all of the questions at the end. We will do our best to get through the most of them. But put it out there. We'll do our best to answer your question. And I'll try to read through them during the event and try to get as many of them as possible that are similar. I'll, and see how it works. And
Hey, real quick, Malik, the audience, they should also use the Q&A for any questions they have and not use the chat, because there's a lot of, conversations going on in the chat, and actual questions can go into the Q&A so we can see them.
Okay, well, I'm about to make you the host again, Rashana, so.
I wasn't even saying all that. I was just trying to help.
So, listen, I need that. I appreciate it. So listen, so for your questions, use the Q&A button. Don't use the chat. You're welcome to chat amongst yourselves in the chat. But for any of your questions, just go ahead and pop it in the Q&A, right? So what we're going to do, just to just to manage you guys' expectation in the audience, we're just going to go around real quick, say who we are, because I'm sure not everyone knows who we are. They might know some of us, but not everybody. So we're going to introduce ourselves and what we do in our market. And then we're going to, just kind of give a report in a way. I can't think of a better name for it, for like what's going on in our market, how to invest in our market. And then we're going to get to the Q&A. And, we're not going to be on for 3 hours. We're going to, try to make this, kind of short and sweet. And like I said, to deliver as much value as possible. And what I am going to do is I'm going to follow the order on the flyer, the introductions. And it got me going last. I don't want to go last behind everybody else, man, but I might have to do my best and go last. But first and foremost, we have the First Lady of Detroit, Ms. Asia Denson. We got you up first. You got to turn your mic on, tell people who you are.
All right. What up, though, everybody? I'm from Detroit, born and raised. I am not a new Detroiter. I'm actually from here. I went to Jackson State University, the best college in the world. I majored in industrial engineering tech, and then I went to Eastern and got my master's in construction management. I also went to carpentry school here so I can kind of learn the trade more hands-on, because my biggest thing was like, I don't want to get out here and become a GC and, people can play you, because if you don't know what you're talking about, you will get played and you will lose a whole lot of money. So I know stuff supposed to be 16 on center. I know that code like the back of my hand. And if you know what you're talking about, then that kind of like helps form your business relationship with subcontractors, especially being a female, because unfortunately, a lot of these men out here will try to take advantage of you. So if you come out here knowing what you know, then, you get a better relationship. I also fix and flip in Detroit. I mainly fix and flip turnkey properties. I got into it actually by mistake, because when I got on Instagram, I really hated how they were showing Detroit like we was just slums, like it wasn't nothing here. And Detroit has like some of the best water in the world, like Aquafina and Absapure and all these other companies. They come tap into the Detroit River to get their water. We have some of the most brick houses in the America, at least that I know of. Detroit is really a block by block city. One block, your counts might be 400, 500, 600, even $1 million. And then you go 2 stop signs up to the right, bus left. I'm gonna tell you to run all those stop signs and run lights, because we ain't gonna stop over there, because that's just how bad, the neighborhood. Raymond, he done came to the D like, we ain't gonna stop right here. We just gonna keep going to what's it called, a stop and go slow roll. We just gonna do one of those. So I got into the turnkey because a lot of my clients were either out of the state or out of the country, and they couldn't find a contractor that accepted checks, wires, credit cards, and I said whatever gonna clear. And that's really kind of how I grew and became who I am today. The turnkey deals I do is always about cash flow. Typical Detroit cash flow, your ROI is gonna be at least 15%. Some of your ROIs as high as 40%. It really depends on the neighborhood and where you're located. And I think that's my summary.
Okay. I appreciate that. And I do want you to know that women will take advantage of you too. I just want to put it out there.
We won't. We awesome. We know how to match. We coordinate. We can stay on schedule. Like we make sure the tile and the grout and all that mess. Y'all just throw shit together and think it look good and it don't.
Hey,
Listen, I do say that you women are smarter than us
That
men.
part.
I hire an interior designer, man. I hire one. What's up? I'm a Don. How you feeling today? All the way from Dallas. All right. So next up we got the good brother Ramon Tooks all over the country.
Well, yep. Good evening, everybody. Like you said, I'm Ramon Tooks. I'm based out of Atlanta. I guess I've been at this thing now. I'm going into year 26. I got started in college and just, looking to make some extra money and just truly fell in love with it. And so now we do a little bit of everything, fixing and flipping, buying, holding. I can say that I am developing multifamily a little bit more now over the past probably 6 or 7 years. And also we train folks. So we want to influence the community as much as possible. I believe in supporting the community, building our communities, and being a part of the community. And so I'll talk a little bit about the Atlanta market. We operate in a few different markets, but the Atlanta market is it's a funny market. It's hot like everywhere else in the country, but I don't look at rentals here, not in this inside of the metro Atlanta, but outside of metro, we'll look at rentals just because the returns are much better, which is why we go to other markets. Fixing and flipping and new construction, I love it here. Stuff, the inventory is like crazy short. So anything that touches the market that is close to being what it should be sold for will sell. And so if you're looking to enter the Atlanta market, just be careful about same thing, neighborhoods. Be careful about that 1 mile rule about, hey, the comps can be in 1 mile. We just did a quarter mile comp the other day and it was $200,000 off. And I knew because I drove the neighborhood. So just like any place sales, make sure you got a good grounds team here. Make sure you understand what neighborhoods you're buying in, and get here and see the market. So it's a great market though.
Man, so I'll say this, man, about Ramon. I mean, I said this before I even know him. I think I shared on Instagram. I was like, I normally don't trust people that smile too much, man, but that guy Ramon, like that guy, like something says trustworthy, man. But listen, when people smile too much, you gotta look out. You gotta look out for them every time. That guy. All right, so next up, we got the queen of the two flat and multi flat in Chicago. Rashana, you here? She probably took a call to do a deal real quick.
I'm here. I'm
okay,
here.
I'm not. Listen, put the Chicago deep dish down, man. We out here.
Man. Okay, so disclaimer, I've been on these streets all day and I didn't want to be eating on camera. So, I got to eat. So yes, I was, but hey guys, so I'm Rashana Scott, born and raised on the south side of Chicago. As Malik was saying, two flat killer. I adopted that name last year. Also the Investors Realtor. I am a licensed broker here in Chicago, and the majority of my clients are investors. I work with a lot of clients who want a house hack. I move a lot of properties that are off market. I'm also an investor myself. So done some tax lien investing, wholesaling, fix and flips, you name it. And in regards to the market, the thing about Chicago is that like Ramon said, it's on fire as where everywhere else is, especially in the multi-unit space here. So that's why I'm actually forced to move a lot of properties off market because it's so competitive. But the opportunities are good here. We still have good returns, and it's a good market for whatever you want to do. If you want to flip, if you want to wholesale, if you want to do buy and holds, if you want to do new construction, that's one of the things that I do like about Chicago is that we do have a market for whatever it is you like to do versus other markets. And so because of that, it brings a lot of investors here. So I do have a lot of out-of-state investors. Majority are from New York, Jersey, Florida, and California, and they all flock to, the Midwest, as I'm sure Asia has a lot of the similar clients. But yeah, so that's who I am. That's what I'm about. Oh, I also have a women's group, founder of Flipping in Heels, which is an online community for women real estate investors. And some of my Infinity members are actually in here today. I see you guys in the chat representing. What's up? Where we discuss all things real estate investing for women in real estate, because as Asia said, it is a very male dominated industry, as we can see, on this chat, right? We 2 out of 6 or 2 to 5. But yeah, so with that being said, represent for the ladies, and just showing that, women, we can be more than just realtors in this industry. Like women, we can cut the check, we can cash the check, right? We can be general contractors, developers, and landlords, and all of the above. And so, I really show up and represent for them. But yeah, so that's who I am, what I'm about.
All right, listen, I think I saw in the chat, somebody, it might have been me, but somebody asked you, Rashana, are you from 63rd D4?
Neither. Neither. They've been listening to too much Chief Keef and King Von. No, neither. I am from the South Side though. So if you ask me if I'm from the South Side or the West Side or the North Side or the East Side, I am South Side all day.
Hey, listen, so when I was looking to invest in Chicago, anywhere I invest, I follow rappers. Like, what do the rappers say? Like, oh, they said that's where the money at. Like, that's where I know to go over there. That's where they kill it. Cool. I'm gonna buy that property, And then I did look up there on on 63rd down, like coming towards the river. I started seeing like a new coffee shop. I was like, oh, that's.
Oh yeah, Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks in Inglewood. Yeah.
Not a Starbucks, an independent coffee shop. It was
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking about Robust? Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep. And Woodline. Yeah.
I'm on Google Maps, Google World. Like, okay, what should I buy? Like right there.
Yeah, I mean the entire city, like everybody is asking what's the next Bronzeville. Bronzeville was gentrified within the last 20 years or so. That's where all the projects were. The projects were torn down, lots were sold for $1. Now you got $500,000 houses, you know, being sold in that area. So we all know the story, right? And so everybody's asking and looking for what's the next Bronzeville. But because there are so many buyers in the market and the inventory is so low and interest rates are so low, the next Bronzeville literally is the entire city. Like the property values are going up like crazy. And I'm sure, you know, we'll get to this as to what does that mean, right? For the market and what's to come. But in terms of the changes happening outward, you know, expanding outward from the city.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Chris, you off screen, but you are up, sir. I will skip you if you need me to and come back to you.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Let me cut the camera back on.
So
right.
Rashonda got the pizza. You got turkey leg cut.
Not yet. I was over in the area earlier. But yeah, Christopher Senegal, real estate investor, developer here in Houston, Texas, focused on historically Black disinvested neighborhoods with redevelopment, new construction, buying rental portfolios. I just closed on a much bigger project that's going to be Opportunity Zone multifamily deal. Yeah, I'm just here to be a part and contribute. Hopefully people can follow me on Instagram or just look me up by my name, Chris Senegal. And hopefully we all connect. I look forward to the conversation.
Yeah, so Chris is being humble, you know, at the moment. Like, you know, Chris, you could tell him about real quick without going into the whole city, just about your Buy Back the Block, you know, and also your crowdfund, like the ones that, not necessarily a new one, but the ones you already completed.
You know, I'll be on Clubhouse too much, man. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over.
It's a first day every 20 minutes, man. I know.
So yeah. So I did do a crowdfund in 2020. Well, I started actually in 2019, November, and by the summer of 2020, we maxed it out at the crowdfund legal max was $1,070,000, and had a little over 1,500 investors, and we used it to buy a portfolio of rentals here in Houston, in a gentrifying neighborhood that had a lot of long-term stable residents. Some of the tenants been there 20 years, and it's like literally 3/4 of a mile away from a $2.4 billion redevelopment project that's going to take the next 18 years to complete. And we get to own it. We get to ride the value appreciation wave, and we get to secure the stability and a life, not life expectancy, but the standard of living that those 18 residents have had to prevent them from being displaced. And we make money in the process. So yeah, just trying to take that model and duplicate it and do it in other cities.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, man. Listen, I was looking at my tax bill, man. Looking at my wife was like, we got Florida or Texas, pick one, because we can't keep paying these taxes like this. So it was like we got to go. And so last week, I'm looking at houses in around Houston. I'm like, wait a minute, you could get something serious for $500,000 out there. You could get something real serious. I was looking like, man, my wife was like, well, who we got in Houston? Like, I know people in Houston. We be all right. But yeah, man, this tax bill here it's gonna be ugly for 2021. It's gonna really be ugly, you know. But our Welby, you up next, sir.
Hello, everybody. Name is Welby Aselli. I'm from New York City, live out in Long Island. But everybody know me for doing business out in Connecticut. And what I'd like to promote a lot is I always tell people, if I could do it, you can do it too. So when I promote that and I state that is that I just want everybody to understand that I'm no different than you. I come from the same struggles like you came from. I came from the same type of opportunities that you came from. I've messed up a whole lot in this business. I made a whole lot of money. I lost a whole lot of money. I made a whole lot of money all over again, you know? So I'm big on teaching the people the good, the bad, the ugly about this real estate. I promote my wins, my losses. I show them the hard times, the good times, because I think that the misconception of a lot of people in this real estate business is that people make it seem more simpler than it really is. Not that it's rocket science, but it's not as easy and as simple as people really think it is. So I really want to be able to assist people in understanding the process, the right way of going about either flipping houses or going through the process of buying it, finding properties to do buy and hold so that you can have a nice cash flow coming in. So I mean, that's what I do, you know, so that's what I do.
All right, I appreciate it. I think I skipped Alex.
Hey, my daughter here, man.
What's up, daughter?
Father mode this weekend. My name is Alex Coleman. I'm from Baltimore. Primarily, I buy, fix, and sell properties. I've been doing it for 11 years. Do some rental properties, a little bit of wholesaling, but mainly buy, fix, and sell. The market here in Baltimore is just like everywhere else. You know, it's hard to find inventory. Houses are selling pretty quick. Same block by block. One block's good, one block's bad. So you got to kind of have an idea, understanding the area. I mean, that's about it. I got started. I used to have a demo and hauling business. I hauled trash and did like small demolition projects for contractors. And then eventually I started working for a friend of mine as a day laborer. I did that for a summer. I went through one house with him. I really didn't learn much about the process of being a general contractor. It just gave me like help increase my passion for the business. I realized that's what I wanted to do, but I just didn't really like doing the work hands-on. And so I tried the general contracting side. The first time I messed up bad. I lost money. And then after that, I kind of started to understand that I needed like some better processes and, you know, kind of just like more checks and balances as far as contractors. And so ever since, I've just been going.
I appreciate that, man. You know, I used to come down to Baltimore, man. Just my mom used to come out, took me out of school to go to Phillips when it was only in the harbor, man. Back in the day, we used to shoot down for the day, do Baltimore, and I definitely like Baltimore, man. It's, but you definitely got to know where you're going. City of Baltimore. It's it definitely can get shaky, out there, man. A friend of mine bought a house. He used to live in a house at North and Wolf. That intersects, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he bought a house right there, and it was a good joint. Last but not least, it's myself, Malik Carter. Instagram is real estate coach Carter, real estate _coach _Carter. Philadelphia is my main market. I went to college in Durham at North Carolina Central. So that's why I began to then invest in Durham, North Carolina. My first flip there right now, which is not going so hot. House is amazing, contractors not. And then I bought some land a few months ago in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, that I plan on building a lot of. I think Winston-Salem is I'll be in Winston more than I'll be in Durham, but I'm definitely, I kind of really had, 1 foot out of Philly because it was so competitive. And I wanted to go to North Carolina because, it's way more land. Even though it's competitive, it's just more dirt. So you can be more creative. Where the city of Philadelphia, if you buy a lot, 14 feet wide, 80 feet deep, you can only build this one box, So I wanted to be a little more creative. And I am a realtor also. I don't really work with many first-time home buyers, like friends and family mostly, but I work with mainly investors, which I don't have as many this year because I haven't been going outside. And then even prior to, I started to the houses that I was giving away. This wasn't even part of my spew, but this is important. I think people should hear this and understanding your worth. I was dealing with a client and I got him like a few deals off market that he was going to make like $500,000 after he sold all those deals. And on one of the deals, I get like a little bit of money up front, then I list it. That's how That's how I do. And on one deal in particular, off market, I told him I was going to put 2,500 on top. You know, he was like, it's from the wholesale side, so whatever, $2,500. And after a few exchanges, his last thing he said to me was, take 1,500, stop being greedy. And I'm like, Doc, I just made you $500,000, but I'm being greedy for 50. Okay, no problem. And I never sent my house again after that. And so I got really more aggressive on me. And so just understanding that, you know, your worth in that time period. You know, when you're dealing with this business, the number one thing that you need is how to locate the deal. Like, as long as you can buy a property right, you can make money. You could fumble all the way through the property, but if you bought it right, you could still make money, right?
You know, Malik, what you said is so important, right? Because I think that's a lot of the mistakes that a lot of the new people are doing when they're buying. That they don't understand. They hear the concept of you make your money on the buy, not on the sale. They don't understand that. So yeah, you if you buy the property right at the beginning, and just like you was about to say, if you fumble, you make a mistake, you'll have so much equity in that property. So even if there is a mistake, you're still gonna make a bunch of money. But if you buy that property, especially with what's going on today, and everybody now with the market going crazy, is jumping into the market right now, and they wilding out. You new guys and ladies are wilding out and are paying for properties that I'm running away from, and they're paying upwards of $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 more than what I would have paid for that property. And now, when it's time for them to try and sell, they're either breaking even or they're going to take a loss. And if there's any change or market correction or a 5% downturn, 10% downturn, they're finished. So you guys, you're going to make your money on the buy. So understanding the process of properly buying, that's very important.
Right. Exactly. And so, you know, I used to have a lot of investors. They would come from Israel. They would come from Hong Kong. And for like almost a whole year, I didn't deal with any Americans. You know, I was exclusively working with international clients. Just found it easier. I go to my house, shoot a video, Dropbox it to them. They say yes or no, wire money, done deal. Never see it, you know. And so the process was simple until they wanted more from me. You know, they wanted me to, now I got to help them find a tenant, help them. And I'm like, no, I funded a house, and that was it. And so I kind of fell back, you know, off the international clients, but that's where I was, man. But so I don't really wholesale. I only wholesale if I have to. Like if a client just want to sign paperwork, something like that, I do a wholesale. But for the most part, I really do list it. I either buy it myself or I list it, you know. And I'm not a you know, and that's it. But now I'm actually trying to learn more about doing some tax credit investing and trying to like really scale up. You know, for a long time I was very comfortable growing at my slow pace and adding on here or there. But now I kind of got the itch to do some bigger projects. So I think I'm ready for that next level, you know, to come up. You know, I didn't want that anxiety, man. I watched, you know, Chris do his projects. In my mind, I'm like, man, they're like a lot of work. You know, like putting together, like raising all that money, you know, putting everything together. Like that's a lot of work, man. But I think I am finally, you know, ready for that next one. So
You know what, Malik? Let me say something though. Chris made it. It was a lot of work, but Chris made it look so easy. He's so cool with it. It was just like, yeah, we raised a quick $1 million in 12 months. Give everybody their money back. I'm doing, you know, seriously. So it does inspire you, you know, and that's why I tell people you know, I get on social media because I get inspired by so many people. You know, people know me. If I come to your city, I'm calling you. I want to see you. I want to eat with you. I want to, because that inspires me. And I think I've been to everybody's city on here except Welby's. And so, you know, and attempting to do business, man. But it's so inspirational, man. You're right. It makes you want to do a bigger deal. Chris made a lot of us say, hey, man, listen. We can do this, and so I appreciate him, man. You know, as much as I can, I tell him thank you, bro.
And listen, when Chris a few months ago, Chris put that rendering up and took it down. I was like, oh wow, okay.
I sent Chris a DM for the first time yesterday or today, telling him, listen, bro, I love what you're doing, man. Yesterday, right? So I made sure to uplift them because it's beautiful to look at all these people on this panel, and it's amazing what we all doing. And sometimes we don't want to give ourselves the credit because truthfully, I know a lot of people on here, we're very humble and we want to come across that way as well. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to pat yourself on the back and to say, wow, I'm amazed at what I'm accomplishing, but definitely with what Chris is doing and the ladies too. Ladies, you guys are much smarter than us men.
Mhm.
Any of the women that I've met that I've either assisted or that are doing their thing kicks our ass all day. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we should applaud each other because we should be proud of each other because if you add it all up with all of us together here, we talk about some serious money and we earn that. So hats off to you, Chris, and everybody else for what y'all doing. It's amazing.
And not one Instagram post of the PJ is stars in the ceiling between us.
So Welby said something a little while ago that I definitely want to just want to touch on it a little bit more in terms of making sure that you buy right. Because I believe that is huge in this market and we don't talk about it enough. As me, like you have some realtors who, are just going to sell you anything. And I'm the type of realtor that I'm going to tell you like, it's unfortunate because I've had so many other people's clients like book calls with me, they want to fire their realtor, they want to work with me. And I'm going to tell them the truth. Like I had one girl and she was about to pay $20,000 over asking, not over asking, no, the property, it was like a property like $400,000, it appraised at like $380,000, and she was gonna, pay an additional $20,000 because she wanted the property so bad, and it shouldn't even have been that high in the first place. Like, the fact that property was that much in this area, I was like, that's crazy, But the thing, like you guys that are on here as investors or first-time investors, or you're looking to get into the market, make sure like as investors, we do creative marketing. We know how to, structure deals and put things together. Deals are out there. Be patient. Please do not be out here overpaying for properties because he said it. As soon as a correction happens, right? And not to say that it's going to be a full on, 08, 09 or anything like that. But I believe that the markets that are overinflated right now, even in Chicago, there's some properties where properties are going for, there's some neighborhoods where properties are going for $400,000 that absolutely shouldn't be going for $400,000. And it's only due to the supply and demand of the market that is pushing the market up. And so I believe that in some neighborhoods that's where, the correction is going to be seen. And unfortunately, it's in our neighborhoods, right? It's individuals that are going into our markets that are flipping these properties, creating their own comps, pushing the values up and selling it. And then we're going in, and buying it because, we want to be, homeowners or investors. We want to buy 2 flats so bad and that we're going to overpay for a property. And I'm the type of realtor, I'm going to tell you, don't do it.
And Rashana said something so dope that I don't think most of the people caught on to when she said that they're creating their own comps. And anybody that's in this business understands that there's ways, if you experienced enough, to create the image and to create the paper trail to make a number appear the way you want it to appear, so that you suckers out there that don't know any better is going to see it and accept it and buy it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, what we doing, we playing hot potato right now, and you don't want to be the one holding that hot potato. You don't want that. No, I'll give you guys a real quick example. I got a flip that I finished doing. And I bought that property at a 55 to 60% ARV, if you guys understand what that means. That property should have been sold. That property, I've had it under contract 3 times, and 3 times the property fell out of contract because of the funding, whatever it was for those people. If most people would have been in the same scenario, they would have already lost already, because it's about a year now that I'm holding this property. I got hard money involved. So it's a ton of money in it. And guess what? I got the property under contract now to sell, and I'm still going to clear a nice 6 figures after the fact, even with all the headaches. So the headaches is worth it because an average person ain't making 6 figures sleeping, right? But you imagine, like I was in Atlanta when I first started. I was telling the other brother I started in Atlanta and I was buying crazy, and I was paying at a 90%, 80% just because I wanted to get involved. I just wanted to be involved, and I wanted to be the man, and I wanted to talk shit like, hey, yo, I bought a property and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And just the slightest thing happened, and I got caught up with the wave in 08, 09, and 10, and I got wiped out. I mean, I lost everything. So you guys gotta be very careful out there, and nobody can tell you when the market's gonna shift or not. That should be the last thing that you should be thinking about. What you should be concerning yourself with is understanding what's going on today, and then ride that wave so that you can maximize your potential in whatever deal that you're doing.
Right, for sure. So I think the room, I saw some names in the room. We have some experienced investors and some people that are, brand new, people are in the space. And so I guess what they want to hear is, one of the reasons why I bought this collective together is what's going on in a different market and why should I invest there? So I'm gonna go to Asia. Tell me about Detroit, Asia. What's going on in Detroit?
Detroit is popping. Of course, when the market crashed, Detroit got hit really, really hard because a lot of people, Detroit is Michigan itself is a blue collar state. So of course, when the big three crashed, Detroit, crashed like at a standstill. So what happened was you had people working at the plant making $40,000 a year, right? But with all the OT, they making $125. So once the market crashed, they seeing their real check. Now they can't afford their payment because now that balloon payment is starting to be due because there was a lot of not mortgage fraud, but what's the word? Subprime lending here, like a whole lot of it. So that's how whole neighborhoods got wiped out because people was just literally walking away from it or buying a house across the street for $500, 10 grand or something like that. Like I personally done deals like that when I first started because I wholesale too. So now the market is kind of shifting. So when the market crashed, it's like, okay, our rents were still $800-900, but the property was only $10,000. So that's how a lot of people started investing in Detroit. Now over time, those houses have been sitting vacant since 07. Now it's 2021. And now these houses need a full overhaul, a full gut job. So a lot of people always ask me like, well, what about the Detroit Land Bank? All right, the Detroit Land Bank, those are the people who sell houses to you. All the bids start at $1,000 across the whole city of Detroit. Everybody in America has a land bank. However, Detroit Land Bank, I tell people all the time, you ain't got no damn money, don't buy their house because they will take it back from you if you don't finish the rehab in time. Now, if you're communicating with them, letting them know like, hey, I'm falling behind due to this, that, and the other, and you just keep updating them every 30, 60 days, they kind of stay off your back. They're really going after the people who just buying, sitting and holding on it and doing nothing with it. So that's one thing you can invest in Detroit. Two, you can buy through a realtor or a broker. You can buy through me as a wholesaler, or you can just go on the MLS or Zillow and buy directly like that. I done bought houses on Facebook Marketplace. I personally only buy in Detroit from October to April because that's when everybody broke. They need Christmas money or they got Christmas money and now that credit card bill due and the taxes is due. So that's when I buy. Like right now I got a house under contract in a very good neighborhood where the comps from 175, 225. I'm getting this for 12.5 because he broke. And I was like, because at first he wanted 25. I was like, me, I got 12.5. He was like, all right, cool. So I'm like, bet. So now I'm just waiting for the title to come. I'm probably gonna have to do a full gut because it got knob and tube in there. I tell people all the time it's knob and tube in there. If I'm touching it, I'm full gutting it because I'm not patching no plaster. My electrician need to be able to physically go in there and snip every single line. Knob and tube runs like a racetrack, and a lot of people don't understand that. And to piggyback on what Rashana was saying, as far as I think Ann Weasley about buying the house right, that is very true. You have to buy it right at the beginning. And mainly my female clients is the ones I have the issue with like the emotional attachment. Like you not living here, so this house don't need Travertine tile. Go and get that $2 square foot tile and go about your damn day. Or they want to put in a $1,500 vanity, and it's like, why are you putting in a $1,500 vanity when you need new plumbing stacks? Like that don't make sense. So I think a lot of people need to understand how important the construction part is. Like, and I'm an investor as well. And I tell people that I'm a contractor first, investor second. And what I mean by that, whatever it's going to take for me to make this house right, I'm going to do it because I got to be able to sleep at night. You can't cheap out on electrical because that'll burn that shit down. You can't cheap out on HVAC because somebody could suffocate a CO2 and die. And that falls back on me. So you can't cheap out on certain things, but you know, everybody cousin do something and they don't really know what they doing. So that's kind of my little 2 cents about Detroit.
Yeah, now let me ask you this. So now, I think you told me before, like a year or so ago, you told me about a program where you could buy the lot next to you, or is that still?
Yeah, so that's called the satellite program. So if you buy a house in Detroit and there's a lot in front of you, behind you, to the left or the right, or across the street from you, you can buy each lot for $100. So they were talking last year before COVID, opening up to where any house on your street. So if I live on this end and that end got a lot, then I can buy that one too. So you can still do that. A lot of homeowners were buying them and just fencing it off and turning it into like urban gardens. Some people got a junkyard. Some people don't drop. I've seen some people drop trailers on it, and like they live in that trailer on that lot, and then they rehab their house as they go. I've been seeing that a lot too, or like an RV or something like that. But yeah, we still have that program. I'm in the process now negotiating with the land bank, trying to get the ones next to my property. But I found that this other group own them, so now I got to talk to them and try to get it because I want to put 2 6 units next to mine because it's enough land for it. So that means I can get all those lots, hopefully for $100 or maybe even up to $1,000 per lot, which is still a good deal.
And the other day I saw you roll by some new development, as you said, you used to walk to school, something like that around there.
Yeah, that was the hood, man. So that's the other side of Corktown. Well, in Detroit, we call it the number streets, right? So Pelham Madden Middle School is over there. It's called something else now, like the Supremes went there and some other great people from Detroit, right? So on the opposite side of the freeway is the old train station, which is now Ford new headquarters. They putting like $150 million into that building. So as soon as Ford announced that they were purchasing that, prices over there shot up overnight. Like it was this one apartment that had been for sale for years and it sold for like 3 point some million. And but before they couldn't sell it. So like all the little neighborhoods around it, that's Southwest Detroit. That's where all the, you know, the Mexicans, Latinos, and Puerto Ricans and they live. And then next to that, you got the number streets, and then you got the other part of Corktown where like all the Irish people live, because like Detroit is very segregated, but it's not, if that makes sense. So yeah, the Ford Motor Company is crazy. So it's just a lot of new construction. You just drive through. It's a lot of container homes over there now, which is starting to become big here, and new construction.
Yeah, you know, I was in Clubhouses. One young lady said she's building some container homes in Atlanta. You know, that they call Clubhouse Cap House. So we'll see if there's some container homes pop up that she doing.
Well, in Detroit.
Then let's run the Cap House, man. But yeah, I think, you know, this year they're starting to do that. But no, that's good. I mean, I need to stop playing around and come to Detroit, at least get my hands on something. I don't want a lot, just, you know. Just
I mean, you straight, like our market is still going up. Like Curb Detroit had an article out like 2 months ago, was like, what can you get in Detroit right now for $2,500 a month rent? To me, that's crazy. Like 25, and this is not downtown. They talking about like in the neighborhoods. So like my big red one that I went off on everybody on Instagram last week, because that shit pissed me off. But that's another topic. Whenever I finish that one, I'll be able to get $2,500 per side, because I'm literally a half a mile from the old Chrysler plant and the new Chrysler plant. I'm 6 minutes from downtown Detroit. I'm 10 minutes from Grosse Pointe. I'm right by the freeway, so I'm right in that pocket. And the lady across the street, she turning her old warehouse into a bed and breakfast. So I know I can get that $2,500 a month rent. And then it came with a big lot behind it that I can build another 2 or 3 unit on it. So that's like the ultimate goal, and just transfer that, form that entire, you know, corner.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely major, man. I was looking, I remember when houses in Detroit were $500, and I would look on HomePath, and I would look on some other websites, and it was $500, and I just didn't I wasn't ready to buy a house that far away yet. But now I kind of
$500, what you got to lose. I mean, you spend that on some BS in the day.
All the time.
I spent $500 in 2 minutes at Home Depot.
Yeah, I know. I kind of, you know, I should. It's too late now, but you know, it's whatever.
I mean, you still can find some deals. So like that $500 house now is probably like $15,000, which is a lot to me, because I was here when they were $500 and I bought then. But compared to y'all, where y'all market's at, like that's still cheap.
No, that's definitely still cheap. So, we appreciate you. I know Ramon, you just went off, but it's okay. Are you back? You're back, Ramon? They closed Miss Winters down, so no, it's not Miss Winters. I don't know what you got now.
We have Miss Winters. I just don't
Oh,
eat it.
I thought Miss Winters closed down.
We still got like 3 of them in the hood, like the real hood.
All right, so yeah, so I know I saw you got that project, man. You got the investors going on to Birmingham, but what else you got going on? Like how else? What should people be looking at investing in Atlanta or Birmingham or wherever you want to, or Milwaukee?
I mean, really for me, I look at returns. So whatever deals pop up, that's why you always see me say, what somebody have or what a project is. We're just gonna look at returns. I don't look at Atlanta. I don't look at Houston. If somebody call with something in Houston, I may call Chris or one of our other partners and say, what does it look like? And if they say no, then it's no. If they say go, that means go. And so as far as like the Atlanta market, we're doing some new construction. We got some fix and flips. We have rentals. Again, we do pretty much everything. We're looking at a development now in Atlanta. That's a smaller development, but I will go to any market. I like Alabama. I like Detroit. And I have clients all over because we train. So if I have a client in Detroit that likes Detroit, guess what? I'm calling Asia when I go. I'm calling. I got some other contacts. I see Punts is on here. Aisha. And so we just make the best use and get the best returns we can. I don't see borderlines. I don't see boundaries. I don't see, it's one big map. It's one no borders. So if you call me, I was in North Carolina 2 weeks ago up in Greensboro. Same thing. If it's a deal, I don't mind going to look at it. So my perspective is a little bit different than a lot of people where they're saying focus on one market. We have so many resources that we can operate in different markets without any fear.
So you know what? Anybody that follow Ramon, get your proof of funds ready, because he's not going to entertain your offer without the proof of funds. You got to have it on deck. And if you post it, you got to be ready to say I want it, because that thing the 2-3 minutes is out of there. If you post it, it's going 2-3 minutes. That thing out of there. So listen, so because I saw you in Birmingham, I know you did raise funds. You put some investors together to invest in that project in Birmingham. You want to talk about that one some?
Well, that one's in the one that you see, the 22 units is in Montgomery.
Montgomery, okay.
Yes, in Montgomery. And I'm learning a lot. I've done a lot on my own for a very long time. And so I get a lot of people that call me and say, I got X amount of dollars, and it's like, you can't do nothing with that. You might want to go wholesale or partner with some people. And so kind of, we pull this deal together, and we're still raising capital. But I, talked to Chris, and, at some point we will have to get to that level of sophistication. We have a new project that's in Birmingham, that's 16 units, that's 0.8 miles from the Top Golf, 0.8 miles from downtown. It's like an amazing project. And so one of the goals that I'm focusing on this year is really learning how to raise capital, true, real capital. And so I'm not like pulling my hair out what little bit I got left, like all the time, because we get deal. It's never deal flow. Construction to me is probably, where some people have a hang up with construction. I'm gonna call somebody that I can trust, Asia, somebody in, Asia or somebody in that city, or we'll manage it. Again, I can build a construction team pretty quickly in any city. So that's never an issue. It's really, for me, it's capital, which is why it's becoming easier, because we get deals. I don't know how many deals I get every day. My team gets them, we get them. And so that is what we're focused on this year, is really understanding how to raise capital, like serious capital. Because, somebody may call in Chicago, somebody may call in Milwaukee, somebody may call in Cleveland, and we need to be able to take advantage of those as a group. So that's why we did the 22 unit as group economics. But I'm learning a lot from it, a lot. So, but it's a good deal though. We are 3 minutes from Alabama State. A lot of our projects have ended up, for whatever reason, around HBCUs, which is a good thing. We got some stuff in Albany, near Albany, Albany State. So I'm okay with that, because we're not getting anything else around like the Atlanta, around this Clark, Atlanta, and Spelman. It's almost over. Like, there is no more multifamily. We're out unless you want to pay some crazy amount. Same thing for like my daughter's at Howard. We've been looking for something for her, and it's rough. So we want to buy all of these smaller multifamilies and hold them. So at some point, those neighborhoods will be the neighborhoods we keep, and that's the reason kind of for the 22 unit.
And so to the 22 unit, do you want to explain how you put the deal together for your investors?
Well, we just did a prorated share of whatever you invested. I got the owner to owner finance it. Um, you try to steal pages out of Chris books and make the owners, give you all the money, right? But the owners that own this property are were some of the biggest, well, their grandparents were some of the biggest landowners in Montgomery, and the grandchildren are not seeing eye to eye. So they were like, we don't need the money, so we'll just finance it to you. And so we raised the down payment and we're raising the construction piece of things. So, it's a fair deal. It's not a huge, like you're not getting rich overnight. Somebody asked me, man, we're gonna get, if I put 10,000 in, am I gonna get 10,000 in a year? I was like, no, you might get 10,000 in 10 years. You can get it in a year, right? It's just not gonna happen. And so that's some of the things, the education piece, which again, I'm we're learning, and so that building, but it has been a catalyst for so much other stuff in Montgomery. So many other deals, so many opportunities, so many development deals in a 7-month period. So, which is why we call it the Rosa. It's called the Rosa because it is, Rosa Parks sparked something amazing, and she was based out of Montgomery.
No, I didn't realize that. That's a good name. I like that project. So everybody definitely tap into Ramon. He said he's raising more capital. I don't know how he's going to do it, but definitely be on the lookout if you want to be an investor, in one of his projects coming up. That's big. So to Rashana, so you got some more 2 flats for us, or so I know you said that the whole city is really next, right? And so when I was looking, like I said, I mainly look, where the rappers are, and then I was looking up Hyde Park and a couple other areas because I just want to get a couple of multifamilies myself. But I like to add my own value. I need the one with the back falling off. That's what I want. But so yeah, please tell us more about where we invest and how we invest in Chicago.
So again, your best deals, as in, whether it's in Chicago or anywhere, it's going to be off market. Once it makes it to the market, it's just going to be very competitive. But you mentioned Hyde Park. Hyde Park is, you're going to be paying some money to be in Hyde Park. That's where President Obama is from, and Hyde Park is a really great area, but that you ain't gonna find no deals in Hyde Park. So if you want to invest and find some good investments, the neighborhoods that you're gonna go, just the furthest that you go outside of the city, the cheaper that the properties are right before you hit the suburbs. So whether you go south or west, because when you hit the suburbs, then now you may have cheaper properties, but then higher taxes. So you have I would say if you're going south, Inglewood, a lot of people are investing in Inglewood. Inglewood is actually one of the reasons why we got the name Chiraq, with all of the crime that has taken place over the last, I would say 10 years or so, by Chicago being on the news a lot lately because of, that and the reason why we got that name. But so I would say Inglewood, Auburn, Gresham, Chatham, South Shore is right next to also the President Obama Library that is coming. So because of that, Woodlawn is a neighborhood in Chicago where the property values have literally doubled in the last 2 years because of the Obama Library that's coming. And they're supposedly breaking ground by 2024. And so it was a huge thing. Is it coming? Is it not coming? A lot of people in the neighborhood didn't want it because they're like, oh, my property taxes are gonna go up. So it's definitely been a big deal. But a lot of investors are flocking to Woodlawn and South Shore because of the developments that are coming. But there's definitely still opportunity south. And then west, you have your Lawndale area, West Garfield Park, Tri-Taylor area. So you still have areas in the city that you can invest in. But again, off market is going to be your best deal. And, if you want off market multi-units, whether it's 2 flats or whatever it is, I definitely got you.
And you know what? I see all the time, the work, like the finished product that you put out for your clients, and like it looks
Mhm.
amazing what you're doing up there. So, if you turnkey from far away, you definitely got to get with Rashana. So what I did notice, I've never been to Chicago. All my research is Google Maps. What I did notice is looking at it is right there at that 63rd and MLK. I think it has like 2 or 3 trains that stop in the intersection, right? Is that one train?
Yep. Yeah, well, yeah, that's one train. Yeah. So our rail system here, we have a very sophisticated rail system here, just public transportation in general. And so we have our trains run underground, above ground, we got buses on every other corner. So we definitely have a very sophisticated public transportation system here. And then through Inglewood, which a lot of people don't even know. So y'all who are on here, you heard it here first. If you are familiar with the north side of the city, so first and foremost, Chicago is one of the most gentrified and segregated cities in the entire country. I would say in terms of, okay, on this side of town, you got, this group of people, on this side of town, you got this group of people. And so on the north side of the city, there's something that's called a 606 trail, where they turn an old rail train into a walking, bike, and running pad. And most people don't know they're actually doing the same thing in Inglewood. So that development is coming to an area like Inglewood. And, because of that, a lot of investors are quietly investing in Inglewood, while they're still showing like, oh, the shootings and, or the crime and things that are still happening. All you see is that on the news, but they don't tell you about the 3 new construction properties that they just built. And they don't tell you about all the land. Like when you drive down 59th Street, literally is nothing but vacant land. And somebody's out there cutting the grass all the time. Like, who you think is paying for that? So just, I want people to be paying attention. Even when, like, I would say 3 years ago, when out-of-state investors was just calling me like, man, I know there's got to be some, opportunity in Chicago, when they were coming and looking at Woodlawn and things like that. And I was just like, man, I wish the people in Chicago would pay more attention to what was going on in our backyards, because other people could see it, but the people living here couldn't see it, right? But yeah, so there's definitely opportunity, still. It is a little bit competitive, you got to search, but the opportunity is still there, and the numbers still make sense, in terms of the deals, whether you want to flip or whether you want to hold.
And so well, I like Chicago because, one, it's the 3rd largest city in the country. And then on top of that, they have a phenomenal financial services district. They got so much stuff in Chicago. And then, don't judge me differently, but it's kind of morbid. But you know what? They on the Great Lakes. We gonna have water wars. They got water for days. They there.
When I'm out on the lake in the summertime, and I'm on the boat, and people are showing the city, showing the skyline. People are like, yo, that's Chicago. Like, y'all got an ocean? I'm like, no, we have a lake. They're like, yo, that look like the ocean. So yeah, no, I mean, that's why I love the city too. Like you said, 3rd largest city. And yes, we are a financial district. We have a lot of headquarters here. So we have Boeing, we have Deloitte, we have Hamburger University, McDonald's, obviously Oprah was here one time. Like, we have a lot to offer here. We also have a studio now for like the arts district, right? TV and film. You have your Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med. Like, there's an entire community for that as well. So whatever you want to do, and that's one of the things too that's different. Like Asia said, like, Detroit was built on like, these main industries. And then when one of them collapsed, like the market collapsed pretty much, in terms of the housing market and the job losses and things like that. But in Chicago, we have Google here, we have Facebook here. So we have a great financial district. We have a great art districts. We have a great meat district. We have a lot of different industries here. So we aren't, built on just one thing. So.
All right, I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna go back for one quick second. Hey, Asia, are they still building that trolley, something like that? You got a trolley coming?
Who company?
Is there a trolley, some kind of train, some kind of like light rail?
Up and running. It's been up and running since 19. The Q line.
Oh, since 19. So it's up and running. How far does it go? What's the area?
So right now it just go from downtown up to New Center area, but the plan back in 07, 08 was for it eventually to go all the way to 8 Mile because Magic Johnson and them just confirmed what they about to do over there at the fairgrounds. And that neighborhood is the host road, right? So I've been telling people to buy over there for like the last 6 years. I'm like, hey y'all, they just built this new grocery store. They got a Meyer, a Planet Fitness. Eventually, they're gonna have to build up the neighborhood around it, and now they didn't announce that. So the Q line is eventually supposed to go all the way to 8 Mile, then to Pontiac, then I think to like either Ann Arbor or Mount Clemens or something like that. But they've been talking about that since 2007, 2008. So it's probably gonna happen. I think the Q line right now is just like the test run. So when they first built it, it was banging because it was free. And if you're in Detroit, you can get on there for free. So of course it was crowded. Now you got to pay, and it's like, I don't know. But it's kind of convenient. Like, well, pre-COVID, like if you go into a game downtown, you can just park at Whole Foods, jump on there, and just go on downtown. You ain't got to worry about paying for parking.
Yeah, no. So listen, so you guys, y'all getting some gems, man. I hope you're writing these places down, man. Save your money. It's like it's nothing but opportunity, man. So I'm gonna go to Ollie. I know Baltimore ain't been the same since they took down Stringer Bell and them, man. You know, Baltimore. When they got Bodie, it was over with, man. I already knew what it was, you know.
I mean, what I would say about Baltimore is first, you know, I would just say that, I mean, primarily my business is buy, fix, and sell. So, you know, I mean, I can offer my advice for different parts about Baltimore, but the things that I know best are like small areas that I focus on. And I'm, you know, because I'm buy, fix, and selling, I'm looking for areas that are more stable. Like I'm looking for things that are already established. I'm not speculating as much to what I think will become of the future. But I mean, I can give you, you know, also what I do think. I mean, like the thing with Baltimore is I think a lot of people who invest for cash flow more than like appreciation of asset. You know, like it's just a good price point to get in, make a good cash flow as far as the rent, and get out and hope to, you know, break even or make a little bit of money. As far as areas that I think are appreciating or will appreciate, like over east by like Johns Hopkins, is kind of like an extension of, you know, like going towards the harbor, towards downtown. And Johns Hopkins, a private company, invest their own money over there. They give like live where you work and things like that to their employees. And so I have done a couple of projects over there, and I some houses that you may be able to pick up for $5,000-$10,000. So it's like one of those areas where it's mixed. Like you have a lot of people work at Johns Hopkins, mixed in with just like how it was, you know, how it's been up until this point. So I do like that area a lot for like buy and hold. I think it has a lot of potential. That's the main one for that I see, but most of my stuff is east side. I don't work West Baltimore as much, although you know, I mean, I'm familiar with it because I was my daughter. I was born and raised here, so I mean, I know all of Baltimore. But I think it's more of appreciation, man, and it's a question I would ask to Chris too, because I've been listening to him a lot on Clubhouse and just listen to the things they're doing. And it makes me want to invest more in some things that are more impactful to the community as well, and learn about tax credits and things like that. So I would ask, like, what does a neighborhood that's in the path of transition look like? Because I feel like commercial normally leads in some kind of way. It's just like if I'm doing a house, you're doing a house. I mean, if we're not doing a block or, you know, something that's making a great impact, I just think it's kind of difficult. And then you have places like Baltimore where you have neighborhoods where, yeah, you could get the house for like $5,000, but if it's a total renovation and it's not worth what you put into it, you know, it's not like you get a house for $5,000, it's necessarily gonna be worth $250. It might be worth 90 in that neighborhood or 80. So like, I don't know how you transition those neighborhoods and make them better without some kind of government incentive or something to, you know, to invest there. So I mean, I think that would be my thing in Baltimore. I would say, look at the country, looking for things that just cash flow well. And I guess in the path of progress, so I would say the closer to downtown, typically, the better it is it seems like they're trying to like gentrify downtown and move people out. But it's weird things that happen in Baltimore, like because the population's been declining for the last few years. It's like it'll be times where the city just comes in and they'll just knock down a whole block and it'll just be vacant land, you know. So I don't know, it's tough.
That's an opportunity, man. Get a whole block of vacant land. You could really be the change, right? So a lot of my investors were in Philly. They went to, so a lot of my foreign investors, they were buying in Baltimore because like the cash flow. And from my understanding, I don't know how true it is, but our Section 8 is 2-year leases, but down in Baltimore, I think it's 3-year leases.
Damn.
And
really?
so, yeah, like 3-year, right? So they was like, so they would rather have that guaranteed money for the 3-year versus 2-year. They in Hong Kong, they don't want you to move out. They're fine with their rent. So for 3 years, so it's better for them. That's why, you know, they were going a lot to Baltimore, but Baltimore has a lot of gorgeous place. I know you know Nairobi, right? Okay, no, to Nairobi, she went to Howard too, but she's buying in Baltimore. She lives in Baltimore. She's buying in Baltimore now. You know, some really nice, inexpensive rentals. But I like your mayor too. I like your new mayor, young dude. I like dude. All right. So
yeah. Man. We've been having problems, you know, with mayors too. So it's mayors and just crime in general is kind of, I think, been a deterrent. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Reservoir Hill is another nice area in Baltimore that's coming together nice. They had like a bunch of projects over there that they knocked down, and there's some really, really nice houses over there, man. Like 3-story brownstones, like real nice.
So just so people that's listening, so what I heard is that you can still get properties for very cheap in Baltimore for cash flow, not necessarily for appreciation, but cash flow matters more than anything else. Anything else is just speculation. I don't care what the property is worth later. What's it worth right now? How fast can I get my money back? Right. And so what Alex just gave you, like, definitely a really inexpensive market. And the more expensive DC gets, the more appealing Baltimore is really going to be. It's like, how long is the drive? It's like, what, 40-minute drive to DC?
Yeah, it's all 40, 45 minutes. Like, depending on traffic, like no traffic, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Yeah, you know, and actually, you know, one of my good friends actually manages the Pendry Hotel. You know,
oh yeah, I like that place, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he manages that. He was over at the Radisson downtown, and then at the Harbor Hotel, and then he went over there to the Pendry as a manager, as a general manager. So he's doing that. So no, he gave you like a lot of great gems on Baltimore, man. So if anybody has money saved up, and you know, let me ask you this, so Alex, do you do projects for other people too, or you only do your own projects?
Sometimes. I mean, really only like 2 people, I would say. Just like, actually one of my lenders became a partner. Him and I have some rentals together. Mm-hmm. And then another guy who I've known for a while now, him and I still do some things together. Yeah, actually 3, because I met some people from up your way, actually. They from like not Philly, they from like Chester. And they had some rentals down here. They had like 7 rentals. I met the guy on Facebook. Oddly enough, he invited me to an event one time. We talked or whatever. And then he called me like 6 months, a year. He's like, I'm coming down to Baltimore to visit. And he ended up buying some rentals here with somebody. And the guy just like stopped managing him, wouldn't answer his calls and stuff. And so I have those 7 rentals with them too as well. So
okay. So, I mean, listen, you know you're doing good business when your lender want to partner with you, and I know and your rates got to be amazing with your lender as your partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pushing me to get rent. He's been getting rentals since the 80s, and I was he was lending me just to buy, fix, and sell. And he's like, man, at some point, like, you should start holding property. So I'm like, nah, man, I just want to keep buying, fixing, selling.
Hey,
and he's like, man, you know, he's like, nah, just start doing both. He's like, you know, let's do it together. And so he's been teaching me. He teaches me a lot about rentals. He told me about like the refi process and
No, that's
all that stuff I just really had no idea about.
no. Listen, no, that's definitely amazing. But listen, the thing with rentals, man, is eventually you want to start working, you know, and the cash flow still gonna keep coming. You know, that flip, once you got it.
If I could go back to like 10 years ago, 11 years ago when I started, I would have had more of like a mix, like maybe every so many. I love the rehabbing part of it, and I don't think I would necessarily take that away, because it was times where I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do things I couldn't do. So I appreciate that part of it, but it'll probably be like every 3 rehabs I buy a rental or something like that. So now I'm trying to get to the point where it's like 50-50, like rentals, rehab, and
Yeah, but listen, but leave the single families alone, man. Leave them alone.
Yeah, it's not a lot of multis here. That's the weird thing. Like I see some of these.
But you got dirt. You got dirt. You got dirt. Build the multis.
Yeah. You're right. I gotta learn that game though. Lord.
Anybody isn't, please, you know, got questions about Baltimore, please go ahead, put them in the Q&A. I appreciate you. And I know Chris going to tell us about Fifth Ward. You know, you ready, Chris? Are we? Yeah. So Chris, you're gonna tell us about Fifth Ward.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about Houston overall. Can you hear me? I just switched microphones.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Houston is booming, man. We never really slowed down during COVID. We have, you know, probably the top medical center in the United States, outside of Johns Hopkins. So of course, with everything that's going on with COVID, Houston was booming. Real estate was booming. Prices have steadily been going up. The historically Black neighborhoods of Houston, majority on the east side of downtown, 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, Sunnyside areas of, you know, steady activity. So yeah, 5th Ward is where I'm focused on, because there's a huge redevelopment project coming in the 5th Ward. And there's a $2.4 billion project that's gonna take about 18 years to complete. And usually we stand on the sidelines and complain about when these types of projects happen. And we, you know, we walk away and we come back and the houses are so expensive we can't afford them. So this time I'm trying to get everybody on page of let's ride the wave. Let's be the ones that benefit from the value appreciation. Let's own everything. Let's even own the investment property so we can keep residents in the community while we ride the value appreciation wave without worrying about the cash flow so much. So, you know, it's a combination of all those things. It's a combination of getting the young Black working professionals stop buying houses in the suburbs where your appreciation is going up 2 or 3%, buying these neighborhoods, you know, where, you know, Lil Pook and them may be still up the street acting a fool, but, you know, 2 or 3 years, they gonna be gone and the house value is gonna double and the net worth of your household is gonna double, and you can pay for your kids to go to college for free no matter what school they want to go to out of equity in your house, you know? So it's the type of things we think about. You know, it's funny how we pick houses in the suburbs for the school system, but then we can't afford to send our kids to college and they got to put them in student loan debt. But if you move a little different, you know, you can kind of reverse that. So it's a whole bunch of different factors that go into that. Not only that, but, you know, as real estate investors and wholesalers, we also got to be cognizant of what we do in our community. So I'm big on that. It's cool to make money selling outside investors, but if you sell the whole neighborhood away, you know, and for a quick buck, you know, what does that really work long term? What does that do to us as a collective people? And, you know, we need to be buying them, flipping them, and make sure that our buyers look like us. That means networking with brokers and realtors that's doing the same thing so that we can get higher incomes back in the community, so that we can get the commercial back to the communities, because the retail, the grocery stores, the restaurants, they're not gonna come back until they see enough people in the neighborhood that make enough money to support them. The people that do try to do it, they doing charity work because they can't even survive. So yeah, but Houston is strong, man. There's a lot of opportunity, and I encourage everybody in every city, if you're buying rental properties, you know, focus on those areas where there's already some type of catalyst, some type of economic catalyst going on, because that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck without you having to do anything different. You can take the same house, same floor plan, needs the same amount of upgrades, put it next to some redevelopment versus leaving it in a neighborhood don't have no activity. The value appreciation is going to be way better next to the revitalization. So, you know, that's really what I'm just trying to educate us on, especially when the revitalization is in our communities. We got to control that. We got to make sure we literally buy back the blocks like everybody talks about. So,
No, that's definitely powerful. Now let me ask you about this. So the flood, right, that happened, was that last year before last?
Mhm.
Now, how one is that common, or and how did that really affect the market?
That happens about every 10, 12 years. There's a big flood in Houston, something that's significant. Um, Surprisingly, the majority of our neighborhoods didn't get affected. It's not really outside of town. They got flooded out like that. It's up north, really, where some more historically white, lower income white neighborhoods. But yeah, overall, I mean, people have flood insurance here. I mean, we talk about the devastation, but if you're an investor or a realtor, or just a homeowner with the right insurance, it's actually a win for you if you got the right insurance. It's the big inconvenience of having to start over, but you start over with a big bag, and you basically have a brand new house. So I think it's more of a being protected and knowing what areas you're buying in. The city has made it very important for you to check the floodplains and where you're moving into. So if you're not comfortable taking that risk, just go in the area that you're not in a 500-year floodplain or 100-year floodplain, which means it floods really bad every 100 years. The 500-year floodplain is a possibility it may happen to you, but stay out of those two, and you're good. So, they hype it up a lot.
How close it was to the beach.
Huh?
I didn't realize how close it was to the beach. It's like to Galveston is what? How long did that drive?
About 45 minutes from the center of the city. Yeah, it's pretty.
I thought it was like little deeper inland. I didn't check, and I told you I was looking at houses down there a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, I might have to get one of those for 400,000. I get 5,000 square feet. Like what?
Yeah. The price per square foot is a whole lot less than it is in other areas, and that's why you get a lot of migration. Like, so I guess the trend is everybody from New York is moving to Florida. Everybody from California is moving to Texas.
Right, but between Austin and Houston, right, Texas is getting everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dallas is doing, but I know for sure that Austin and that Houston, they both
definitely.
a lot of people going on. All right, and so right now, so for someone starting out, like even someone that's investing from far away, so you think the third ward or fifth ward is where they should probably be looking at to buy something?
Definitely. So parts of third ward, the gentrification and the value appreciation has already gotten excessive. So if you go to the east end of third ward, closer to Texas Southern University, HBCU, there's still a lot of opportunity over there. And that's going to be more so of a cash flow play. So short-term rental, you can do a traditional rental, or you can do student housing. That's going to get you the biggest returns on your money over there. And then fifth ward is going to be more of a value appreciation play, or you can do short-term rental there, and you can maximize cash flow and value appreciation at the same time. But once again, we got all these investors on here. I'm telling y'all, I made a post yesterday. Don't claim you buying back the block and saving the neighborhood. If you're buying a house that's got a resident in it that you got to kick out in order to rehab it or flip it, you are part of the problem. That is gentrification. So try to buy some of the vacant houses, try to, like you said, buy some lots, build some stuff, do some things that aren't a detriment to the community. We are in a very, very blessed position to be able to make the type of money we're making.
Hey, Chris, can I ask you when you say commercial, like, so when you saw the area you wanted to invest in Houston, and that's a huge project, billions of dollars. So I'm sure it's, like a little, it was a little more, I guess, you knew that was coming there. You knew it was a big project, so it would be impactful. But for somebody who, say I'm in Baltimore, I'm looking for a neighborhood that I feel like could be impactful. When you say commercial, or what would you consider significant enough commercial-wise to make a change to a neighborhood?
Okay, so it's going to be a catalyst. It don't even have to be commercial. It could be residential. But man, I learned this from an old white guy, honestly, that was an investor. He asked me one day, he's like, how do you pick your properties? And I was like, man, I just look at the numbers, I ran that 70% rule off the top of my head. And he was like, nah, that's not how you pick your properties. He was like, watch the city plans. He said, look where the redevelopment is going. Go to the urban planning and zoning. He said, go to the city 10-year plans. He said, pay attention to city council meetings, pay attention to the stuff in the newspaper when a developer announces where they're going. That's where you want to be investing in. And so for me, I was like, damn, that's a whole different perspective. So when you do that, you know, before they even turn the dirt, you know what the plan is. As soon as the developer goes and puts their permits in, before, you know, which is going to be 10, 12 months before they start construction, you know exactly where to start buying it before anybody sees the physical signs of it. And that happens in a lot of our neighborhoods. Developers and investors are always looking for cheap dirt. Cheap dirt is usually going to be in our hoods, right? So whenever they've picked a hood that's got cheap dirt, you want to be right there on the side of them. Okay, I can't stop you, but I'm about to be Burger King, Mr. McDonald's. You know?
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, no, listen, I definitely look at that, man. So one thing I always tell people, man, is that like time is your best friend and worst enemy. If you had been investing for a long time ago, your best friend. If you starting now, worst enemy, man. It's like, you know, you should have been buying when you had the opportunity, man. It's like too many of us, you know, sit on the sidelines and watch and complain. And listen, if you don't like gentrification, buy the property and do whatever you want to do with it. Nobody gets pushed out. You're the owner. You can do whatever you want to do, right? And so the only way to stop gentrification or slow it is to own. You know, city council ain't gonna do nothing. The state, nobody's gonna do anything. You know, you just have to. And I don't understand. If you see the snowball coming towards you, why do you jump out the way? Like all these people in Philly moving to the suburbs, moving an hour away, moving to Delaware. For what? The money is coming right here. You're going to jump out the way to bread? That makes absolutely no sense.
Like Detroit, man, because like a lot of people be like, you always teaching other people how to invest in Detroit and you ain't teaching us. Well, when I was trying to tell y'all didn't want to listen to me. I know what I was talking about. All I can do is put the information out there. It's up to whoever to grab toward it. Yeah. Whatever. When Detroit houses were going for $500, $1,000, and that's before like our cousins went there and tore them up. Y'all was going on trips to Miami and balling out at the club instead of using your tax return to go buy a house. If I get 10 grand, Rashana get 10 grand, and Chris get 10 grand, that's $30,000. $30,000 in Detroit 10 years ago, you could have bought damn near a whole street, both sides of them, because houses were that cheap. I was literally buying the deed for $500 from on wholesale and reselling them for $5 grand. And I just kept doing that with a bunch of taxes on it, because I would tell people like, look, yeah, that house got 12 grand in taxes on it, but your tax payment is but $249 a month. So give me $5,000, use your tax return to give me the $5 and go get on the tax payment plan and just do that. So I did a lot of that, but it's unfortunate that I don't know why. I guess because we black and they black, so they feel like because we black, we don't know what we talking about. But if somebody, you know, of another race come and tell y'all the same thing, it's like, okay, now we listen to it. And like what Chris was saying about that city planning stuff, like go to those meetings, they free. They put a thing in the damn newspaper, but we don't read and tell you when to go, or they go across, like in Detroit, we got a Comcast channel with all local stuff and they just go right across the bottom of the screen. That's how my mom got her house built, because they had an announcement on TV, like, hey, if you're a first time homeowner, we building up 48214 zip code, call this number. It was my mom and 3 other black people at that meeting, and they got their houses built first. And it's just like, it's a lot of that going on. And then it's other stuff to pay attention to, like the railroad thing that they doing here. My zip code 48214 is hot right now. It's always been nice, but now other people starting to see it, because I'm literally right by the Detroit River. I can walk to the river. The Chrysler plant down the street, downtown right here. Right now, a shell in my neighborhood is going for $100,000. If I sold my mama house today, I'd get about $425. That's crazy. My mom only paid $60,000 for this house. Brand new construction. And it's like, it's coming, but I don't know why we just don't see it, or we just don't want to see it. And then when it gets like towards where it's right now, and it's like you kind of too late, and now you overpaying because you didn't want to listen way back when. So I just don't get that.
Right. And
something else about gentrification. Well, we gotta realize, like a lot of neighborhoods we talking about gentrification in. Before desegregation, these were prominent black neighborhoods. I mean, doctors, lawyers, engineers, everybody from the grocery store to the cleaners to the movie theater, they all lived in those communities. And everything has a life cycle. We're just on the low end of that life cycle right now. And a lot of times we're trying to preserve the low end instead of saying, let's bring it back to life. So when an outside developer comes in to try to do something nice, we gotta take control of it and you know, make sure that we are the catalyst and we are the owners again of what used to be prominent.
Well, you know, one thing though is that most of us that grew up in the neighborhoods, my entire life, I've always lived in town Atlanta. I got grown and one time moved to Buckhead, and it was like I felt so uncomfortable because I grew up in the hood. I'm still in the hood. You know, I've been in the, if you want to call it that now, but you know, we've been programmed. They programmed us to say this is bad. It's bad areas, bad people. You hear it. And until we see the little lady walking down the street with the dog, that's what we first. Oh, it's changing because we seen her jogging. You know, we seen her, and I'm like, what the hell was wrong with my cousin when she was walking to the store? You know, she looked good. So we have to reprogram the media, whether it be through social media. We have to reprogram folks as we talk to them so that they understand how. That's the biggest issue though, because when they see us and when we see each other, we automatically say, you know, and so Grandmama House was a bad neighborhood. And so that's what we've heard for 25 plus years. This the hood. This the bad neighborhood. This where the bad stuff at. And when it really, like, I didn't even know how bad it was until I got grown. I didn't, you know, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was like, man, Atlanta, we got 13 housing projects in a 10 miles radius. It's like the worst. But I mean, we were friends. People cared about each other. So that's what we call a real community. But that's why it's like that though. Nobody has said it's good when you see a bunch of black people in the neighborhoods, you know, and people say Atlanta, you know, because you see a lot of, I guess it's the same thing in Houston, successful looking black people. And so it feels a little bit more comfortable, but I feel like that about the whole world because people are programmed that. I love to see our people. I mean, you know, for those that know me, you know, I did a free tour of 27 cities in 2018. That's when I first met Al, you know, and because I love to see us be so successful. And we got to tell each other, we're beautiful, we're successful. That's a beautiful neighborhood. Chris knows. I came to Houston. We got in the car with Chris. I was like a little kid. You know, I was like, man, this dude amazing, man. Same thing, Asia, same thing. Just, we got to keep telling each other that.
You ain't come meet me, Ramon.
You was out of town, Rashawn.
Yeah, no, she was in the boat somewhere in the middle of the lake, you know.
On the yachts. Yeah, but that's the biggest thing. Chris is doing a good job of it, I know, as he talks about his projects, and we got to do more of that, you know. Just saying, y'all, listen, we got to do this. We have to do this. You know, this is where our people are, and just, you know, and don't be shameful. A lot of times we get shameful because we say, you know, this is for our people. Everybody else got pride. The Italians got pride. The Jewish community got pride. The Hispanics got pride. Something wrong when we say, man, this is gonna be a black neighborhood with a black store, with a black gas station, with a black, it's like something wrong. Like we feel people like, oh man, you can't say that out loud. Yeah, right. I'm like, Asia, shit. You know how Asia say that? But we gotta do a better job of that. And again,
so listen, I see your chats. So I know you're asking about the Q&A. We are going to get to the questions, but like I said, what we're going to do next, what we going to tell us about, you know, trying to get into the Connecticut market, and I'm gonna wrap up Philly. I'm gonna try to be fast for you, and then we're going to get to the Q&A, and after that, we're going to you know, talk to the panelists. One more question after that is, we're just going to ask them, like, if you want to do business with any of us, we're going to talk about how you do business with us, if anybody's even taking clients or what other services were offered, and then we're going to try to get out of here. You know, I really want us to be like no longer than 2 hours. It might be like a little bit tad longer, but by 9 o'clock, 9:15, you know, we should be totally done off this joint. So stick around. Like I said, we're going to, you know, definitely get to the Q&A. So Welby, you know, I know you in Connecticut. Are you in different parts of Connecticut, or are you like one main area?
No, when it comes to Connecticut, I'm all over Connecticut. So what most people know about me is about the flipping. So I flip all over Connecticut. So I'm all over Connecticut with the flipping. As far as what I do with the flipping is I take the profits I make from my flipping, so then I could then buy rentals. So flipping is dope. I love the challenges of flipping a property. I love the money that is made with flipping a property. But the reality is you're only as good as the last flip that you did. So I started realizing that a couple of years ago that, you know, in 19, I did over 20 flips in that year. And the money was great, but you only as good as the last flip that you did. So I already had a nice rental portfolio, but I didn't want to start directing the profits and started buying my rental properties. So my rental properties in Connecticut, I'm in the Waterbury area, I'm in the Bristol area, I'm in a couple of areas now with my rental portfolio. But I tell people that Connecticut is like the sleeping giant of America, because you don't really hear many people speak about Connecticut. And it's ironic because I'm from New York and I travel an hour and a half to go out to Connecticut to handle my business out there, you know? So the Connecticut market is booming, man. There's money everywhere. Because people are watching on this chat room and on the Q&A, people are asking, where should I invest in? There's money everywhere in this country. The biggest thing that you have to understand in this country is to adapt to what the area that you're looking to invest in calls for. So now I understand where my rentals are. I don't buy based off of appreciation. I know a lot of people want to buy properties and say, hey, I'm going to buy this property because I expect that this property is going to be doubled in price in a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's only a small amount of states in this country that actually does that. The predominant other areas in this country, what is it, 3 to 5% a year is how your property appreciates. So my focus is not buying solely on appreciation. My focus is buying because I want the cash flow. And one of the ladies said something earlier about the importance of cash flow, where when she said how the property values dropped, but yet the rentals still stayed at the same price that they were at that time. So you imagine, if you know how to properly buy your rentals properly, you're not worrying about a market change. You're not worrying about a market shifting as much, because that's not your focus. Your play is for that rental cash flow that comes in. So that's the focus that I do in Connecticut. I buy a lot of flips, rehab them, sell them, make my money off of that, convert my profits, and buy me rental properties. So that's what I'm doing in Connecticut.
So to get into the market, like how much money? All the other markets we talking about like smaller numbers, but when I think about Connecticut, I think who's the boss, right? I think Angela was getting at it. So yeah. Tell me, like what's the entry point financially to get into Connecticut?
The dope part, what I love about Connecticut is that it's from as little as 60,000, as far as if it's a property that needs work, and it depends on the area, to as much as 300, 400,000, and you're trying to sell the property for $750,000. So it really matters the area that you're looking to invest in. So my average properties that I'm flipping, I'm purchasing on average before rehabbing anywhere from 80 to 120,000. And if I'm buying at 120,000 and my average rehabs are costing me 60,000, that's from bottom to the top, full renovating, new bathrooms, new kitchens, new roof, everything. And I'm selling them on average 260. But then I have some of my properties that are on the market now that are selling for almost $500,000. So the beautiful thing about Connecticut, you have the whole spectrum. You want to be a big man? One of my good friends, she's selling properties for $2 million properties. But then if you're trying to get into a cheaper area, I could take you to cheaper areas where you're buying the properties for 60,000, put 30,000 into it, sell it for 160, you make yourself 40,000. So I tell anybody, you'll make money anywhere, but if you decide to go to any particular area, it's very easy to spend the money. It's very easy to spend the money. The hard thing is to make money off of the money that you have. So I would tell you, take a deep breath. If you want to go to a specific area, study that market. Understand the reason why you want to buy in that market. Take some time driving around the area. Go to the corner bodega. Go to the restaurant. Go stop at the barbershop. Go talk to the local people. Just have conversations with people, and you start to breathe and take in the environment, you know? So I'm in an area now with my rentals. I tell people my cap rate on some of my properties, and they think I'm lying. And of course, you know, I miss the receipts. I show bank statements. I show mortgage statements. I show rentals that's coming in. Some of my properties are in a 25, 30% cap rate, and people think they can't even understand it. And I have the same person that's with the same property next to me, and they dying. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very disciplined on where I buy, how I buy, how much I'm willing to buy, what it's going to cost me to pay for it, what it's going to take for me to get from that point to getting it ready to be rented. I have a beautiful relationship with the city. I have relationships with the Department of Corrections. I work with Rapid Housing. I work with sober homes. Once I get a property, I renovate it, put it on the market for rental. They chase me. The city chased me for my apartments, and they pay me top dollar for it too. And I'm really big on being a great landlord. I care about my tenants. I treat them with the respect that they deserve. You know, if I wouldn't want to live there, I wouldn't give them that type of a home to live in. If I wouldn't want to live there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really big on that. But you have to have a game plan, you know. And when I went out there, I came out with a game plan. I started off with one property, and I made sure to make that one property take off for me. When I knew I did it right, I did it again. Then I started doing 2 properties at a time, started doing 3 properties at a time, 5 properties at a time. And I just started building up my team of people working with me. And that's, you know, I took my time and I did it, you know? So you could do the same thing in any market that you want, but just understand the market that you in, take the time to understand that market and act accordingly with that market.
Yeah, you know what I like, man, is your story, Welby. You know, I like the transparency when you tell people that you was a security guard, man. So Welby started his business, you know, at a security guard salary and built his way up to the point now. And, you know, most of the people up here, you know, like we all, you know, making money in our different ways, you know, and most of us don't really, you know, show it as much. But like I said, you do have people, you know, taking all the Instagram pictures, you know, and Welby got like, you know, 2-3 cars with matching wrap. You know, he got the Ferrari, but he never show you that. All he show you is the Mini Cooper. You know, he don't show you. That's all you see. You know, it's
because
like
you want to know what it is, man. The truth of the matter is, most of the people that are on here, I'm talking about not the panel, the other people, they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They just want to say, they want to hear us say we're in Tahiti every other month, that we eat steak and lobster every day, and you know, we sleep, we spend time with our family and our loved ones every minute, and that's not the truth. You know, that's not the truth. And most of the people don't want to put the work in. Most of the people don't want to sacrifice. I go through hell and back. And it's sometimes a lonely road because of what it's taken to accomplish what we're doing. And it's not about us trying to be big, better than anybody else. It's not about us showing off. It's not about any of that. We know that there's no reason why whatever we want, that we see other people doing, that we can't do it too. And excuse my language, I don't give a fuck who you are. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't do it. Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't get it. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't accomplish that. And if you tell me I can't, stay the fuck out of my way, because I'm gonna knock you over while I'm going for it. And I mean that as humble as possible. And then I try to put that to inspire everybody around me. And I've had people laughing at me through my whole process. I've had people. I tell people that they call me the what do you call it? The Jehovah's Witness of real estate. That's what they used to call me. And when I say that to people, they laugh at me, because if they saw me coming down the street, walking, or if you saw me calling you on the phone, they knew what we was going to preach to you about real estate. And those same people that were laughing at me, that was gigging on me, those are the same people that hitting me on my phone now. And like the ladies again said, like I told you, you ladies are a lot smarter than us. I was putting you onto this 10 years ago. I was telling you, yo, listen, grab this now, because I'm telling you, this opportunity ain't gonna be here. So now the same property that you could have bought for $300,000, $200,000, to sell it for $700,000 now, and you pushed yourself out. And then now the new excuse that we talking about now is, oh, don't you think the market is too high? Oh, when is the next crash gonna happen? Oh, I don't think I can this or I can that. So now we always finding the list of excuses to why we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And if you around me, I don't tolerate that shit. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I look, let me tell y'all real quick. I lost it all 2 times. I had foreclosures, bankruptcies. Nobody could tell me shit about the struggle. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're married with kids, no kids, divorced, single, not. We all go through that shit. Living with our backs against the wall every day, paycheck to paycheck, ain't cool. We all did it. Every one of us did it. That shit ain't cool. And in 2012, I had $300 to my name. You understand, y'all? 2012. And if anybody understands about foreclosures, anybody understand about bankruptcies, you're not supposed to be able to acquire no property for 7 years, which means I should have not been able to start buying properties until 2019. You understand? I've been kicking ass since 2011 and 12 when they said you shouldn't do it. You understand? So if it's something that you want, no matter how many times people close the doors on you, you're going to find a way. No matter how many tears, I've cried like a baby. I questioned myself. I looked in the mirrors and said, am I capable of it? Not. I went through all that. So ain't nobody going to tell me that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make people understand that, yo, we built for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody better than us. Ain't nobody better than us. I don't want to hear none of that. Nobody. We can get to it too. Don't chase me. Don't chase my lane. Don't chase Malik's lane. Don't chase the other panel's lanes. What they doing is their lane. That's their shit. That's why they shine so bright. That's why the 7 of us could be on this panel and shine, because I'm doing me. I'm doing my lane. That's gonna work for what I'm doing. So whatever the path that you want, if it's 1 property, 5 properties, 100 properties, whatever it is, you just want to flip, you just want to hold, whatever it is, there's money in it, and you could bang it out like the best of them. You know what I'm saying? So go for yours. And listen, man, if y'all want to get your asses kicked, get on my programs, because I'm gonna give it to you. I'm telling y'all, if y'all want somebody that's gonna be on your ass and it's gonna be for real, then you gotta get what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that humbly, because I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear, because it's gonna make you feel better. It's either you're gonna put the work in, or just keep doing what you're doing. It's all good. As long as you're happy, it's all good,
Yeah, listen, I don't vouch for everybody, man, but Welby, listen, I will say this, man. I've been in this business, like I said, 05, I lost everything and came back. But even as recently as like a couple of months ago, I'm still learning from Welby. We had a conversation. He was like, listen, I know you're doing things this way, do things this way. And I changed up. And like that really changed how I do business. Like I'm still learning from this man, like, from all of us. I still learn from everybody up here I learn from. But what we happen to be the one that I spoke to recently, Chris is gonna take my phone call when I start figuring out how to raise his capital. Matter of fact, Chris, we got to have the whole conference call, because we all want to raise capital. So we're gonna have a whole conference call.
And you want to know what? I could learn from Chris too, because I had a meeting with these heavyweights this morning just about that. You know what I'm saying? None of us is gonna know everything. I don't know. Listen. Don't let me fool you guys when you guys watching me. I don't know as much as it looks like. I don't know as much as it look like. What I do know, I know how to put the people that are smarter than me in front of me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do know. I know how, if I can't acquire it, I know how to tell a person, chill out for a minute and let me go and find the answer before I tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? What I do know is that people control the money. The money controls everything. If you ain't controlling your money, your project is done. If you ain't controlling your money, your contract is gonna eat you alive. If you ain't controlling your money, you're dead. So I do know the importance of controlling the money and treating people with the respect, and then do as I say. So they understand that, Welby got the bag. If Welby says, we're gonna pay X amount for this amount of money, you ain't gotta look for it again. I'd much rather go broke before I take the money out of your pocket. So you control that situation, you control your entire project. And I mean, I can't stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough, man. I've been robbed like everybody else, bro. And I've been robbed. So don't think that you're special, that you got robbed. I got robbed too. You know what I'm saying? My credit was fucked up too. So whoever's talking on here that their credit is jacked up, my credit was in the 400s and the 500s. I got 800 credit score now, and I walk that shit with a badge of honor. So you can't tell me nothing about that. So if your credit's fucked up, go get it fixed. The same money it costs you to go to the Bahamas, and I watched some of you people in the Bahamas last week that they had no business in the Bahamas, you could have used that shit to fix your credit and could have gone to the Bahamas 10 times this year. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? So we all got to get to a point that we're going to sacrifice and say, yo, I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill. When I wanted my Ferrari, bro, I was driving a fucking Ultima for a minute before I got that shit. You know what I'm saying? Before I got the Rolex, I didn't have nothing on my wrist. I chilled out for a minute. Let me chill. You know what I'm saying? But Instagram is such a lie that everybody is doing photo shoots now. Everybody is renting out positions now, and then you envying somebody that ain't doing shit. And I meet up with them. I meet up with them.
Expert.
You feel me? I've met all of them, and I broke bread with all of them. And those same people are asking me for money. Keep it like that. And I don't look as fly as they do online. So don't believe the hype. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I don't want to keep going because you know, Malik, I'm gonna get on a rant. So I'm gonna listen. If I could do it, people, you guys could do it too. So I want to get you guys hyped. I want you guys to get out here. 2021, I'm leveling up. So whoever want to come with me, let's go. Because I'm with it.
You should have went last, man. I'm be boring, man. God dang, I should have.
No.
Right, he got the crowd hype.
Like, damn. Like, damn, there's some shit about myself I need, you know.
Now here I go. Yeah, the city of Philadelphia come through. Now that's right behind him. Everybody go think you know, but listen, at least I did pull up some art. I got some visuals though. Just got some visuals for the city of Philadelphia that I really can't wait to share, because like I said at the very beginning, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I had 1 foot out the door. Like I was like, you know what, Carolina is warmer down there. You know, I get some acres, I could live, I can do whatever. And then started like really, before I did that, I started like really pay attention to what's going on in my city of Philadelphia. And I got excited again. You know, I went from ready to chill off of Philly to like, you know what, let me stop bullshitting and like really, really pick it up, man. So I just put a couple of articles because I didn't want to butcher everything. I didn't want y'all to think I'm making stuff up, and I didn't want to make anything up. I just want to share the real with you real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen real fast, and I'm gonna just bounce around a couple of articles. So just real quick, you guys can see the screen, hopefully. This right here, Philadelphia 2035, when Chris was talking about finding the plans, this is our plan. This is the city's plan until the year 2035, everything that they're going to have happen. This is the joint. If I can put it in the chat, can I put it in the chat from here, from this page? I don't know if I can put it in the chat from here, but I will put it in the chat. So it's phila2035.org. And this is everything that the city is planning for the next 15 years. You know, you can see it right here. Every neighborhood has its own plan, and they have a comprehensive plan. So there's no guessing at all. All right, let me knock that out. Now, this right here, this is the reason why I decided to stay, right? And you guys heard of Silicon Valley. Now they're calling Philadelphia Silicon Valley. That's our new nickname, right? Because it's the home of the first FDA-approved, gene cell therapies. And right now, the gene therapies, our bioscience industry, like the move away from Philly right now is the equivalent of somebody moving away from San Francisco right when Apple and Microsoft started. Like this is the beginning of a boom for the city. And I thought that Philly was like a few years behind DC, but now I'm thinking as far as real estate is really chasing Seattle because of the innovation, right? And this is a little bit older. I don't know what year this was, but with these 10 startups, they raised $650 million. But I will say in 2019 alone, they actually raised over $750 million. And it's just going insane with the amount of biotechnology companies here. As a matter of fact, it's so crazy right now that every lab in the city of Philadelphia and surrounding counties is gone. There is no more available lab space. It's gone. They're building right now 1 million square feet of labs in Philly, and they're building 400,000 square feet of labs on the outskirts of Philly and the different areas, right? So we got 1.5 million square feet of labs just for biotechnology startups and research. Philly does a terrible job of educating the population. For that reason, we know that all the new people coming are not going to be from Philadelphia. So all the research fellows, all the doctors, all the lab assistants, everything, all the startups, they're not going to be from the city of Philadelphia. There's thousands of well-paying jobs that are coming here to this place, this person, Philadelphia. Now, this is right here in West Philly, right? And so that's that. Mind you, Silicon Valley, that's what they call in Philly. Oh, one more stat I do want to say. I didn't realize this until a few weeks ago, but 1 in 6 doctors educated in this country come through Philly. That's that stat, when you think about it, 1 in every 6 people was educated in Philly be a doctor. That stat is an amazing stat. I didn't know, but that's one of the main things, one of the bigger reasons why I decided to stay, because I don't want to jump out of the way of that snowball. So I'm here in Philly, even though it get cold, and I'd rather not be. I'll be here, right? Schuylkill Yards, another huge project. You know, if anybody knows 30th Street Station, matter of fact, let me try to pull up real fast. So 30th Street Station is our main train station. You know, you might have seen it in the movie Witness and, you know, everything else, right? Let me see if I get a quick aerial view for you guys. All right, so this right here, this is all the train tracks coming in 30th Street Station. All of this right here is below ground, right? And it's like, well, there's nothing above it. And then here's the bridge, so it's kind of high up. So what they're doing right now is this project already started. So look at all of this space right here is this, they're building on top of it, right? They're building a whole city on top of it, pretty much. You know, like this whole Schuylkill Yard, all of this you see here, everything in this rendering is on top of that yard space. So they're building like basically a mini city in thin air. They're using the air rights to build all of this. You know, I don't even know how many acres it is, but all it's going to be, these are all startups, these are businesses, these are housing, these are residences. And this, as of right now, is impossible to build because, but the trains, all the Amtrak is going to run under this, right? So all, mind you, where people are walking, there's tunnels, all that train yard is under this whole thing. And that's a major development. I mean, that's a huge undertaking, you know, and when you're looking at how much money they're putting, the billions of dollars in like the 20-year time frame that is going to take them to complete this entire project, you know, with them investing this much money, you know, it's really tough to run away from Philly, what they're doing here. Also, this right here, this is the north end on the waterfront. This is a 30-acre project that someone's put money to. I think it's like, what they say, 1,400. It's 850 units there, but I think 1,400 apartments. You know, this is a 30-acre project right on the waterfront. Only a few right now. This is just a barren area. There's nothing down here. You know, right here when they built this highway, this is 95. When they built 95 through it, cut the river off. So right now there's nothing, but they have this major development coming. You know, I'm gonna just run through some other things. I just want to show you guys how much money is being invested in the city of Philadelphia right now. This right here is another big deal. The Housing Authority, right? They have so much vacant land and so much blight in one neighborhood. They're giving all 240 properties, mostly vacant lots. And so those 240 properties, now that area, the developers are going to develop that one area. And of course, this is actually when one of the, you know, this is our version of The Wire, you know, no offense, Al, but down here, right? This is our heroin corner right here. This is like Norris Square, you know, this neighborhood here. So over here, this is East Kensington and West Kensington, right? When you see, when they say Kensington Beach, whatever, when you see like everybody, like all the homeless encampments, when you see all the needles on the ground, when you see the zombies walking around naked and, you know, whatever they're doing, that's this neighborhood. But they've already started new construction down here. And then with this 240 parcels all up in here, this park is not safe at all to go through this park. at nighttime. It's very dangerous. If you fall, you like, without exaggeration, there's heroin needles, used heroin needles all throughout the park. No, I'm not exaggerating for any effect. Like, it's a very dangerous place. But now with this area over here, very well, $500,000 and plus, this area, you know, all of a sudden coming up, now they got 240. So you're going to see a lot of new construction. A lot of developers are going to run here. The one thing, like developers, myself included, is I call us locust, because they go to a neighborhood, they suck out as much money as possible, you know, whether they're flipping the houses, whether they're putting rentals, and when there's no more money, they have to go to the next cornfield, right? The next farm to drive their money. So this neighborhood here, this is called Norris Square. There's, like I said, that's 240 different parcels. And so if you can imagine the amount of construction that's going to be going on in here in the next probably 18 to 24 months, you know, nothing but development. You know, there's a lot of money coming. We did the school kill yards already. Now we did that already. This is another major project here. This is the Sunoco refinery, right? It caught on fire last year and made international news, and they couldn't stop the fire. It burned for weeks. Then they sold it to this company. This company actually is out of Chicago, and Rashana, you should look them up. They got some other big stuff coming to Chicago too. But what they're doing here, this is 1,300 acres of waterfront property on Schuylkill River. On this 1,300 acre complex, they're building 13 million square feet of distribution centers. So basically, anybody that does any kind of last mile, long distance, is 13 million square feet of storage space. So that's your Amazon, that's your Whole Foods, that's your Amazon Fresh, that's any kind of distribution that's going to happen in the Northeast region, Northeast corridor. They're trying to get that all, at least a large portion of it, to come here to this space on that 13 million square feet. Then this project alone is supposed to generate 20,000 jobs. You know, that's the projection, that this is going to create 20,000 jobs. And this is being built right now. I don't know, they didn't put a completion date on it yet, but if you look that up, this is who they are, Hilco. So this is 20,000 jobs coming to that project, plus the auxiliary jobs, the delivery stuff, the food service, the, you know, other suppliers, everything else. I mean, there's a lot of other things coming. That's 20,000 jobs. Right. Then, and it's 220, tens of thousands of jobs. Showed that. Now, one other project, I think I might have closed it by accident, is they're building, if anybody is familiar with Philadelphia, and you know, around 36th and Market, it's only a few, you know, 30th Street is the edge of West Philly, and then you cross the bridges downtown. But right at 36th and Market, there's a project with Drexel and Wexford, right? And what they're doing is there's a bioscience campus. There, I don't see the article here now for some reason, but they're building 2 million square feet of offices, a home workspace on this project. Let me see if I can get an image of it real fast. And just so you guys, oh, here it is. So this is the image. This is what they're building here. And this is the area where all the biotechnology startups are going to be. And like I said, that's right there at 36th and Market at the bottom of West Philly. And, you know, this project alone, they said it's going to create it's going to create another 15,000 jobs on this project. You know, now that is the cleaning staff, that is the, you know, the scientists, that's the research, all of that there, that's 15,000. So I just showed you in the next 24 months, Philly is adding 30,000 jobs, really like 34,000 jobs in just 2 projects. You know, that's not including everything else that's being built in the city of Philadelphia. Just these 2 projects and that they're doing. And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. Now, what that means is, like I said, we have about 30,000 high paying jobs coming there. Then we have other billions of projects, and everything being built. Just think of how many construction workers are we going to need to build that project, to build the 30-acre project down there, right? To build the warehouse project. They're supposed to be hiring 14,000 people just to build it. You know, that's not permanent employment. To build it, that's 14,000 people. Now there's other projects coming to Philly where we have they're building a couple other, like another 1 million square feet around 38th and Market to 42nd and Market. It's like another 2 million square feet. There's a surface parking lot. And bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that we have all of these. This is about 50,000 jobs. This is not somewhere down the road. This is not 20, 30 years. This is in the next 24 months that all this stuff is happening, you know? And so it's like, why am I going to leave when Philly is really about to explode? When I sold the house to some people that still work in DC, because DC was too expensive, so they bought my flip for $325,000. They couldn't afford DC, but Philly $325,000, and they still commute back and forth to DC 3 times a week. The wife got a job here, the husband still commutes to DC 3 times a week, right? Then New York, very expensive, very taxed out. A lot of New Yorkers are moving to Philly because, you know, because you can get a rehab house here for $325,000. You're not getting nothing in New York City for $325,000. You could forget it, right? So when you look at where Philly is, the cost of living, when you look at the opportunities for advancement, and it's like, why go anywhere else? There are places in the hood right now where a few years ago, the values were trash. Like a Strawberry Mansion is a neighborhood that you guys should really write down. Strawberry Mansion is really coming. If you go to Strawberry Mansion, you're going to see crime, you're going to see blight, you're going to see drugs, you're going to see violence. But what's invisible are the appraised values. These guys are rehabbing these houses and they're getting $400,000 appraisals. But they just stop and go right down the block. They still got whatever kind of drug you need right outside. But the values are getting at 400,000. And as they keep, you know, rehabbing more and more properties in that area, then all that stuff is being pushed away. But one thing that Chris was saying, everybody was saying, is we know this is coming, right? So why are we getting out the way? We should really be locking in and buying as much as we can. You know, it's like, if you know, here, I'm gonna buy this. I know we got 50,000 jobs coming. They need somewhere to live. I want to provide that space. You know, that's what I want to do. Somebody said something about the train. I don't even know what that is. Maybe high speed rail. I don't know. But any rate, so that's why I believe in the city of Philadelphia. I live in West Philly. I still live in West Philly. You know, I don't buy in other neighborhoods except for West Philly. It's easy for me to manage. It's my neighborhood. You know, I like to know who my neighbors are. Like, listen, if I get multiple offers, I'm Googling the people to see who they are before I take the offer. And if there's somebody who I feel like I might want to live next to, like the last lady, she was a chess coach. I'll take your offer. Her offer was like 2,000 less. But you know what? We need a chess coach in the neighborhood. You know, we need another nurse in the neighborhood. You know, we need other human capital. So we bring in people in, and like, I need to know who you are before I take any offer on any house I sell. I look that person up. You know, what their job is, what they do, and would they be a good fit for the neighborhood? Because I still live here. My kids are going to be here. So I need to know who my neighbors are going to be, right? That's everybody that comes through. Now, I'm not saying I won't house an asshole. If the price is right, we might get a new asshole in the neighborhood. Right? We might. I don't know. If the numbers come right, you know. So, but for the most part, I like to bring people in that I want to live next to. And it just so happened I do good work. You know, and now I'm a good, like Obi said, now I'm a good landlord. I used to be a bad landlord and I got bad results. I got bad tenants. But it wasn't until I realized that I was the problem that I started to get good tenants. You know, I'll make sure that my properties are taken care of. You know, I get my service orders is done instantly. You know, whatever they need. Now, Wubby gave some free rent for December. I didn't do that. He's a better landlord than me. You know,
Well, Malik, I be begging my tenants to move, and they won't. I be like, please, just they won't leave, bro. They won't leave.
Yeah,
You know,
so listen, you give him free rent. Why would you? Why would you move? You getting free rent?
No, I'll say that I don't give free rent. I don't give free rent, but I help out where I can, though. You know.
Yeah, I think we put them all Christmas presents this year, didn't you? All the kids and stuff, man. So now you're a great landlord. You know what I mean?
No, you know what? I'm not trying to brag, but no, I know I take care of my tenants, man. I do right by them. I really do.
Yeah.
But I get screwed
for me, they might not get Christmas presents, but even in Section 8, they will get granite. They will get stainless steel. They will get nice stuff. They might not get Christmas presents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, a roof over your head is more important than Christmas presents, you know?
You know, right. So it's that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the reason why I think I'm saying that Philly is right behind Seattle, I was saying DC, now I'm saying Seattle, is if now investors, hedge funds, not about real estate, if we're just talking about the startup community, you know, one of the companies, Spark Therapeutics, they just got funded. They cured a form of blindness. A lot of investors are going to come, and they cured a form of blindness. People can see because of this company that's a half a mile from where I live. They got funded. So they're going to have a lot more people to hire. They're going to have all these patents for sale, and all of this money is coming here. And so now all these, we don't have tech startups, we have biotech startups. And that's the community that we're building here in the city of Philadelphia. And if you look at how things are expanding, we have some of the best cancer treatment. There's nobody messing with Philly when it comes to gene treatment or gene therapy. And these are the things that are going to be driving our economy for the future. That's why I'm not worried about any recession in Philadelphia. There's no recession that's going to last longer than cancer, right? There's no recession that's going to last longer than a company that's curing blindness. The recession will not matter when we're talking about gene therapy. You know, we're talking about all these diseases that they're curing. The recession will not matter. So that's why I stayed in Philadelphia, because I see where it's going. And very soon, matter of fact, right now, I got 2 houses under contract that I'm selling. And one of them I'm selling for $100,000 over the last house, setting a record. Appraisal came back, no problem. The other one I'm selling, I sold a duplex a few months ago. It was a smaller duplex for $198,000. I'm 2 blocks away. I'm getting $310,000 for mine. $112,000 more than the last one. You know, it's a little bit bigger. I made it a little more sexier, but it just shows you how fast the numbers are changing, man. And it's like, the numbers are really getting crazy here. And I'm encouraging people, if you don't live here, just buy 1 or 2 just to sit you here. Same way I'm about 1 or 2 in Chicago. I'm probably gonna buy 1 or 2 in Detroit, you know, just because I want to be in the mix. I want to say I was smart and I bought early, you know, and it went up. I'm not gonna try to be a mogul in these places, but in the city of Philadelphia, if you know anything about Seattle, if you know anything about Washington, D.C., if you know anything about San Francisco, like the rates of appreciation, I really believe that Philly is on the path of that kind of change. So I'm here. That's me on Philly. Now, I will, if the panel got anything to say, cool. Otherwise, I'm gonna shoot to the questions. I will say this, man, before it gets, I'm trying to run through these questions real quick, but I will say this. I don't know if Alex has any programs, but what I do know is that Wubby does, there's a program. Asia, she definitely has a book, and Asia is definitely selling a lot of houses in Detroit. You really need to get with her. Ramon just came out with this fly-ass flyer just now teaching you how to be an all-around investor. Ramon, what's the name of your program you just put out?
It's the Ultimate Real Estate Program. It's our last level of investors. So we have some other classes that we teach. What I did was I coached for a while and I stopped for about a year. And so last year we started back coaching, but it's kind of next level coaching. We don't take everybody. I'm only doing like 3 people a month just because of the attention I want to pay to them. But we got classes, we got online programs. We give a lot of information every single day, every single week. So, if you're looking to get going, I'll point you in the right direction if it's not us. And I'll give whatever information I can give you. I mean, I want to see us win. And then when I say us, I mean everybody. And we can all win. It's not a, either or. You know what I mean? I can support everybody on here, even the people that are watching us in some form or fashion. So that program, Malik, is I call it that's my kind of my exit out. I'm gonna coach a few people, and then I'm going to work for Chris or Welby or somebody else, and then I'm done. I'm just gonna sit back and just make me some money.
Hey man, let's you got them kids that can work for you, man. Yeah, I don't got that yet. I ain't got that many yet. It was right there. And so what you say, Ramon?
It ain't that many, Malik.
but they old. Mine's 8. Yours is older, right? Yours can work, son. So and Welby, like I said, Welby has his program where he's teaching you in Connecticut, and he's very transparent. You could go to his Instagram, you can know Mr. Receipts, you can see everything that he's doing, very transparent. So Welby, you want to jump on that real fast? What you do?
Yeah, I got a thing called the Real Estate Boot Camp, and it's literally exactly that, a real estate boot camp. So pre-COVID, what I was doing is that I would have I like to keep my classes intimate, so it would be 15 to 20 people. And I know most of you guys that have maybe spent tens of thousands of dollars with these so-called gurus that tell you that they're gonna coach you and they're gonna be there with you to educate you in the business. And then after you finish paying them, when you show up, it's their flunky that's actually there talking that doesn't even own anything. I'm actually involved literally from step by step with me and my team. And my boot camps were running for 6 weeks, and I would actually acquire a property. I would, before even rehabbing the property, take you to the closing with me so that you could actually come and experience an actual closing with me. Then I would take you to meet with my hard money lenders, and I would walk you through the property before even knocking down any walls. And then during that whole process, because my average rehabbing from start to finish is about 6 weeks, and you would come out for 6 weeks to come and view the property from start to finish. And then upon the property being completed during that time, I help you to get your LLC or your corporation. I help you get started creating your own company. And then upon the sale of that property, I actually will give you a credit that will actually any other hard money lender would honor as your first flip under your actual new LLC. But now, because of the COVID, I got a new online course I'm putting together now. With your help, Malik, I appreciate you giving me that push. But I got a really dope ass online. It's a documentary / education of me giving you the step-by-step process of what I do, literally to the last molecule of what I go through from finding a property, managing the rehab of the property, the funding of the property, to upon the sale of the property. And I'm also going to be offering a coaching aspect of that too for the people that needs to have a hands-on approach with someone like me. And I will be there with you every step of the way so that you can get started for yourself as well. So that's what I got coming. It should be coming out hopefully early first quarter of 2021. And it's going to be something really dope. So
and you already gonna know it's gonna be no nonsense. But like I said, I tell everybody, man, this panel was handpicked. I don't do. There's no frauds. It's all action. Everybody here, is respectable. Honorable. And I really have a deep appreciation for everyone on here. So Asia, so what's your program? I know you have something coming up. You got a podcast coming up now. You have your tour of Detroit. You got that kind of stuff. What you got going on?
Yeah, so we do the real estate, the actual big tour. We normally do it in September, but we moved it up to August this year because last year it was just too damn cold on that water at the end of September. So we moved it up. But I do private tours throughout the year. In the wintertime, we kind of got to like play it by ear because it could be nice and 40 degrees right now. And then it'll drop to below 0. So you just got to.
Real quick, you said it can be nice and 40 degrees. That's a different kind of
I
cold.
was about to say the same thing.
49. Hey, 49. It was like 41 today in Detroit. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But then like it dropped down to like 15, 20. So, or we have an ice storm. So it just depends.
Yeah, okay, you can have that. But go ahead. All right, so go ahead. So you got your tour coming up on in August. Go ahead. What else?
So we had that. I do private tours throughout the year. I have ebooks for sale. I have a credit card class. The credit card course is not like how to get the credit, is what to do with it once you get it. Like how I did my first flip was an Instagram follower let me borrow some money, but then the balance that I needed, I pulled the money off my Chase Visa card, and this was on my personal card because they do 0% transfers, and I was like 0%. And then the letter was like, you can even pay yourself. So I wrote a check to Denson Construction Services for 10 grand, put it in my account, and then finished my damn project and sold it. So I just kept doing that because it was so hard to get money in Detroit for under $50,000. Because that's typically what you need for a house to buy the property here in Detroit and to fix it up. You're probably gonna be between like 40 and maybe 75,000, and nobody was letting you borrow at that low amount. But that's how I did my first flip, was an Instagram follower. Now that's my boy. Like, we real cool.
Off of Instagram. Listen, anybody watching this, Asia take people off of Instagram to invest with it.
Look, it was funny because I just put up a post like, hey, who want to let me borrow? I think I needed like 17,000 at 10%, and like 6 people hit me up. So I went with this one guy because he did the coolest thing ever. So he first found about me, came to Detroit tax auction and bought like 50 houses between Detroit and Pontiac. So he took the equity out his San Diego, California house, moved to Detroit, fixed one up, lived in that one, then started fixing up the other ones. And all 50 of them, he's Section 8. So he raised the Section 8 rents in Detroit because Detroit houses are so basic. They still got the pink and white or the mint green and white or the black and white checkerboard tile like Chicago probably still got, but they were still getting $800-900 a month with no updates. So then here he come in, he updated, putting recessed lights, because no houses in Detroit and living rooms got lights. Because back in the day, everybody had lamps with the nice furniture. So he started doing that. He started putting in granite countertop. He started putting stainless steel appliances in. So he raised the $800 rent for Section 8 to like $1,100, $1,200. And he do Detroit and Pontiac. So when he started telling me that, I was like, I'm gonna go with him. His boy met me with like half of the money in a Kroger bag. I'm like, this looks really bad, but you know what? Fuck it. So I took it. I was like, we got a receipt between us and a legally binding contract. So if this ever go to court, I'm covered. And then he's like, well, I'll be back in town Monday. And then he met me with the other half. It wasn't no bad, but he had like a rubber band. I posted the picture on my IG the other day. He had it in like blue rubber bands. I'm like, dog, you know how this look. He's like, my money legit. This is mattress money. I was like, you know what? I don't need no explanation. So whatever. But I sure took it and did what I had to do. So I don't feel bad about it.
Nah, as you should. I mean, listen, the only time you should feel bad is if you don't return your investor's money. But other than that, you should feel perfectly fine, man. It's not that. So
hey, facts. That's facts.
Right. I paid him back. So I paid him back plus his 10%. And then he was like, when the next one? I'm like, all right, bet. So we've been rocking ever since.
All right, like I said, so everybody, we about to get to the Q&A, but first, real quick, so Rashana, so how can people work with you in Chicago?
So if you guys are looking to buy, sell, flip, hold, invest, you guys can contact me. I'm at Rashana Scott everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat coming soon, because y'all got cute filters on Snapchat. But you guys can find me there on Instagram mostly. And then also too, for the ladies, as I mentioned earlier, you guys can find me at Flipping in Heels. For my ladies monthly membership group, we discuss all things real estate investing for women across the country. But yeah, I look forward to working with you guys, and thanks so much, Malik, for having me on here. This was a dope panel.
Don't say we got a Q&A.
I appreciate being handpicked.
Talking about some was. Ain't no was. We got the Q&A, so you got a few more minutes before you try to log out of here. I know you got don't try to run. You got a few minutes on some was. Like, nah.
I wasn't even saying that.
You know,
But no, we're about to run through. No, but real talk, we are about to run through this Q&A because I didn't skim all the questions and some of y'all asked the same question a couple times. So we're gonna get through this real quick.
All right, there you go. So listen, Alex is a real private person, man. I know he probably don't even want to see y'all no more after this. You know, you can catch him on Instagram. So Alex, are you taking any people? Are you doing anything with anybody else? Or are you just here to share your knowledge, or what you got going on?
Yeah, man, I'm just here because you asked me to be here.
I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. I mean, like, no, listen, I mean, I see you out there, like, you know, in Baltimore, you know, sharing. I really do appreciate it, you know, and for people, you know, I appreciate you just sharing that, like, with nothing, for nothing. You just like, listen, this is the process. This is how to rehab, you know, there's more motivation for anybody else, you know, and like the reason why I even jumped on Instagram is I just wanted to show people that I'm doing this business. Like, this business is not as difficult as you think, and you should really be doing this business, you know, and it's not about, I didn't take my first student until the COVID. You know, like, if it wasn't for COVID, and I bought a fire damage property, and I was like, you know what? This is a good opportunity to show people how to rehab a house, and so they not be scared. And what I always tell them, I was like, listen, it's fire damage, but your grandma's house, where your grandma live, with the old wiring and that old heater, it's a shell. Everything works, but it's a shell. I got to take all the walls coming out, the electric coming out, the plumbing coming out, the HVAC coming out. I need a new roof. Your grandma live in the shell. You know what I'm saying? And so, in knowing that, and when I want them to see that this burnout is no different than that. And so I took on a few people to, you know, show them this process, to give them that confidence. And also I do, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do it too many more times, man, but not a lot. I don't think I'm going to do a lot too many more times, you know, but I am going to, you know, Wellbe helped me out to add a few things that I'm going to add to the cohort that I got going on now, you know, and I am going to share, you know, some of that journey, some of it. And I don't know if I'm going to do it again this way, but I will. I always share. And the one thing that I do is I point at myself, and I always point at my problems and the things that I went wrong, because I know that other people have those same problems, but they don't. Everybody put it out that everything all well and good. I know there's one person here in Philly. He had a whole program where he wanted to teach people. One of his houses caught on fire. That never saw Instagram. All his pretty stuff is on Instagram. Your house burned down, dog. That's not Instagram worthy.
Yeah.
Like, show people that things go wrong. You know, you gotta, if you can't show all the good and not show the bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like his house burnt down, but he built it back up. Gets insurance, whatever. He built it back up and put it on the market. That's a win. Why won't you show the negative part about that? People gotta see your house burning down. You know,
that was always my biggest issue with that. And I always said, and I fought for a long time to get on social media, because I'm not a person that puts my business out like that, you know? And one of the things I said is that I wanted to make sure that I promoted my losses. Last year I had 3 properties that sold, and I sold them all for losses. When COVID happened, I sold them all for losses, and I put it out there that I lost money on these properties. So it's impossible for all the people that you admire and you look at for them to always hit a home run. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. They all take losses, but when their primary way of making money is not actually real estate, but selling you a course or selling you a supposed lifestyle, they can't put a blemish on their supposed lifestyle, which is why they don't show you the bad parts of what happens in this business. You know, so I think that it's good that we do show the tough times that we go through, you know, because that's just part of it, you know, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it is something that you know, that I should have done a long time ago, man. I mean, it's just been me in my own way, honestly. Like, for some reason, I've been doing this for a while, but a lot of times I still don't feel like I'm qualified to teach anybody else. So I started on a program like 2 years ago, and I paid the lady to do it and everything, and I just never put it out. I just was old. I haven't.
Let's go. Listen, matter of fact, you heard it here first. You heard it here
Yeah.
first. Jumping out the you know, you're gonna be the first. You go
I'm like, oh, I just putting it off. But
listen.
really though, you know, I
Go to his page. He's masterful at construction. Jump in his DM and tell him to send you that course tonight. Like tell him the people demand it. The people want it. You know, they want to listen. The thing is, the reason why anybody can do a course because every market is different. You know, we got row houses. You know, Ramon doing apartment buildings. You know, everybody. You know, Detroit got single family houses. Everything is in Detroit. You got the whole. Asia said something. I think last year. You know, but the temperatures get so low, they got to make sure it's freeze ready. Whatever it's called.
The frost laws. Yeah, we got a lot of multi-families too, like 2-family flats, duplexes, triplexes, 4 units, 10, 20.
Yeah, exactly. See, look at that. Yesenia said, Alex, no more procrastinating. We need that course, you know. And so I do know that Chris did put in the link earlier, his next project that he is raising money for. Chris, if you want to talk about that real fast, and we can get to the Q&A and get you out of here. All right, he probably on Clubhouse, but you know, so I'm gonna go real fast. Hopefully Chris can come back. So what I do, just real quick, I really want everybody in here, especially if you run the ghetto, if you can see this right here. I put this on the t-shirt. Matter of fact, I got the hoodie on, right? You can see it. And the reason why I put this on the t-shirt and put it on hoodies is I want to walk through the ghetto and I want people to see it and know that you need these are the 4 things you need to build and maintain wealth, right? These 4 things. You have to build and maintain wealth, you have to have these 4 things. And so I put it on the shirt so I could walk through every ghetto, wherever I am. And even if people ask me about it or they don't ask me about it, it might lock it in the back of their head, you know, somewhere, and it might trigger something one day to make them realize like, yo, like these are the 4 things, you know. And you know, what I did is I ended up putting on Teespring. You know, I think I put it at like the lowest cost they have for it, just so I don't have to print it out. You know, so if you guys want to jump in my page, on my link tree, I do have that. What I also did is I finally did get a digital product. You know, it's called 6 Steps to 7 Figures, and where I show people how to, from a very basic level. I wrote it from a perspective of someone that makes $30,000, how they can eventually have around $500,000 liquid and make $10,000 a month without leaving your job. I'm not telling you got to be a guru. I gave you some really practical steps to invest in the stock market. What's up, Imani? I appreciate you. You know, invest in the stock market, and then how to also buy houses and become like legit a millionaire. I don't say a millionaire because what I find is that when you say big numbers, people think it's unbelievable. People would rather, if you tell somebody that you could show them how to make $300 to $500 a week extra, they'll believe that and pay more for that than they believe that they could be a millionaire. And so I don't really say the big numbers, but I know what real estate has done for me. And I know that real estate has changed my life. And how I was able to invest is the reason why I've only worked about 140 hours since March. Since COVID hit, I've been watching these kids run around. I've got a few houses I've been out to go see. I probably sold like 4 or 5 houses as a realtor. And that's it, the entire COVID. And I'm still not rushing to get back to work. It's because of the work that I put in before is paying for my lifestyle now. You know, and I'm a frugal person. I don't have the expensive car. I don't have the expensive house. All of my money goes to buying investments, buying assets, eating out, taking trips. That's it. It's all I do with my money. I don't wear any jewelry at all. I'm married. I don't wear my wedding ring. I don't wear any jewelry. You know, it's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this. Anybody asks, hey, where's wedding ring? That ring don't stop your husband from sleeping with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So the ring ain't nothing. Don't worry about that ring. You know, I know I'm married, so that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So the point is like all my money go to that, right? Just buying assets. And those assets allow me to sit my butt down in my house and talk to you guys on a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? And so I can do whatever I want. And I can still take a trip, even though I haven't worked since March, but a few hours. You know, it's the way that you invest. It's like your lifestyle by design, you know, and it's like, what do you want? And I don't want things, I want time. Right. So that's what I'm on. And so real quick, so like I said, so I have that in my bio. I do have that. And I think the black still works. I didn't even look at my joint. I think black still works, and that'll give you like a 50% off discount code, you know, for that, if you want to jump on that. And you know, we also got the private group. We talk about plays. I don't know cryptocurrency, but if you jump in that private group if you bought a course, you get in the group. They teach about cryptocurrency and also precious metals. And I learned from the guys from Bada and Camille Accountant. They're masterful. These cats are making ridiculous amounts of money, you know, with cryptocurrency. You know, I mean, like they going crazy with it, and I just do what they say do. Like, okay, that's what they do. Cool, I'm gonna buy that then, no problem. You know, this one dude, he gets instead of like, so what he does, instead of getting points back, he has a card where everything that he buys, he gets 8% back in Bitcoin. So he don't even get the, you know, he's going crazy. His Bitcoin stack is, they out of control with it. You know, there's that. So Chris, you back yet? All right, cool. He's still in the Clubhouse. All right. So I'm gonna try to get to the so Rashana, you have the questions. You gonna do the questions, Rashana? You good?
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Yeah, yeah, you can do the questions. You can handle it.
Okay. All right. So the first question is for Asia. So what are some markets that people should invest in Detroit, and what are the price points?
All right, so my favorite zip code is 48214. These are east sides. 215. 215 is like Jefferson Chalmers. That's a really hot neighborhood that's starting to get gentrified because it's right off the Detroit River. And it's bordering Grosse Pointe. 48214 is my hood. That's the villages. So that's East Village, East Village, Island View, and Indian Village. Yeah, I think that's it. 48224 is very good for fixing flips. That's gonna give you your, what neighborhood is that? Yeah, East English Village is over there. That's very good for fixing flips. You can also cash flow pretty good in 48224. Detroit is again a block by block city, so please keep that in mind when in 48224. 48234 is good as well for the east side. West side, of course, you know, you got your higher end neighborhoods like Boston Edison, Rosedale Park, Grandmont, Rosedale. So that's going to be like 48235, 48238, 48219. It's kind of all I can think of off the top of my head. Your price points on the low end is going to be, I mean, 15,000, maybe 10 to 15, but that 10 to $15,000 house is going to need probably at least 50. No, I'm gonna say probably 75 to 150,000 in rehab. The longer the house has set empty, the more rehab you have to do. So majority of them gonna be full of guts, especially if you have knob and tube in there or old steam lines. And you know, our cousins that went in there and took, you know, the radiators and the boilers and all that. So you might as well go on and gut it and convert it since it's empty. Trying to see what else. It's a lot of new construction going on in Detroit as well, in 48214 and in Courtown. I can't think of the zip code. Your typical all-in price is gonna be 50 to 85,000. That's purchase and rehab for a basic Detroit brick bungalow or colonial. I think I answered that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in detail.
Yeah, you did that.
All right, cool.
All right, everybody, be as detailed as that, okay? Welby, what are some? No, wait, hold on, sorry, I lost it. Can you recommend some good contractors in NYC?
No, because I don't do business in New York anymore, unfortunately. So everything I'm doing is in Connecticut, despite the fact I live in New York.
Okay, cool. Baltimore, Alex, can you give a
Yeah.
breakdown of time to change a single family to multi-unit property in Reservoir Hill?
First you can reach out to me. I can do some digging on it. It's not something that I've done, so I'll be hesitant to kind of try to provide a time frame. So I should be changing the use in that sense. They can reach out to me on like IG, and I'll ask some people that may know because I'm not sure.
Okay. Malik, what area is that duplex in, and what's the square footage?
My duplex is listen, I'm Cows Creek Leak, man. It's definitely in Cows Creek. That's where I'm at. And the square footage of that is just under 2,000 square feet. And how much? You said how much? What's the question? It said, where is it? How big is it?
Yeah, it was just where.
Yep, Cows Creek.
Okay. What are some real estate books that you guys would recommend?
I can do that. I mean, it really depends on what they want to learn. What I will say is this: the most important book that I've ever read in my life is "Wash Your Why Guys Have All the Fun" by Reginald Lewis. You have to read the book. It's very motivational. You know, a fellow Baltimorean. You know, I mean, that book like legit changed my life and the things that I felt like that I could do. So everybody needs to read that book. As far as real estate, if you want to go bigger, The People's Principles by Don Peebles. If you want to be a realtor, you know, there's always like Millionaire Real Estate Agent, also Millionaire Real Estate Investor. I think those are all good books. But you know, otherwise, it's a lot of content you can watch, like Blacker Pockets. But we can watch Blacker Pockets too. Blacker Pockets, good joint, but Bigger Pockets for real estate. You could get a lot of you know, consumption there.
Okay. Also, Malik, how can someone without the background get started? I'm coming from 25 years of healthcare. I need to learn from scratch. I'm based in Durham and from Germantown.
Man, so all of it, it's crazy to me that now Durham is more expensive than Philly. You know, when I was in Durham, everything was trash. It was all abandoned tobacco factories. Now there's nothing. The cheapest house in Durham is like 100,000 as a shell. I mean, Durham is, it's crazy how that turnaround is. But as long as you have a decent credit and a job, I always recommend you buy a multifamily first. You know, just to get your life stabilized. You know, keep your debt down. You know, so once your debt is down and you have less money going out, then you'll have more confidence to go out and to invest. So I would say stabilize your life, get a multifamily as your first investment, and then go from there. And as starting out, it's hard to say start in Durham because Durham is, you know, like I said, I'm buying in Winston because, you know, Winston and Greensboro. But if you in Durham, you could get to Winston and Greensboro like an hour. It's not that serious. You know, I would probably do that. If you can find something in Durham, it's going to sell fast. But that's what I would do in Durham.
Okay. Does anyone on the panel buy from online auctions? And if so, what are some sites you've used?
I have. I bought a couple off of Hubzu before in the past. I haven't bought any. There's another one called Home, like XOME. I never bought anything off of that one, but I have bought on Hubzu, and I know people that have bought off of auction.com.
Okay. When, for any of you guys who are pulling lists, what are the top like categories you choose from for your list? Like pre-foreclosures? Are you looking at you know, delinquent taxes or like absentee owner?
I usually pull absentee owners. But I think that probates are a good one too. I mean, obviously absentee owners is a lot. So like I have a virtual assistant and she'll like, I'll send out a text blast I'll pull a list and then I'll send out a text blast, and then she'll make the initial contact with those people. But before I had her, and like I'm just trying to do enough value where she has something to do every day for a few hours. As far as like reaching sellers, but before I had her, the main thing I would do, and it was just me, is like probate. I just found that I didn't have to mail as many people, and I just felt like when I had contact with people, it was more like of a quality lead than an absentee owner.
We do a lot of calls. We stack lists, which means it may be a cross with delinquent taxes / absentee owners. You know, pre-foreclosures the past 9 months haven't been that great just because it wasn't foreclosing on a lot of them. So you got to be able to make the adjustment with probate. You need to know, you got to kind of know your market and know that it may take some time depending on what part of the process they're in. And so, you need to know all the lists and kind of the pros and cons. But when you stack the list, it can be a probate with delinquent taxes or pre-foreclosure with, some other liens on it. So I always say, really understand the different types of lists because there's different scripts, there's different follow-up processes behind it. So we do a little bit of everything.
That's good. And then Ramon, what advice would you give to investors who are contemplating investing out of state? It's so scary, but what is the one thing you wish someone would have told you before you got started?
So Rashana, and whoever asked that question, for me, I learned by doing. And so the mistakes that I made normally came from, I didn't learn how to delegate. So if you're going to invest out of state, one, you have the systems, build relationships. When I went on, I'm great at picking up the phone, calling somebody, and my team is as well. But learning how to build those relationships before you just jump in there. If you don't have the right systems and the right resources, it doesn't matter if it's 2 blocks away from your house. What are you gonna do? Go stand and look at it? Right? If you don't have to, so you can invest anywhere. That's why I advocate I can invest anywhere in this country and do the same thing that I do in Atlanta. I don't have to be there because of the systems that we put in place and the relationships that we build. That's why I'm heavy on, I know I can call Chris. I know I can, Al is like the coolest rehab guy in the world, but I know I can reach out to Al and Mark. I know, because I'm building those relationships. So build the relationships before you jump across those borders. But even before you get started, go serve somebody. Don't just call people like take them for coffee. Go work. Go get the track. Go get the broom. Go get something. And I think that's how you start. You start with making sure you have the people that's going to support you. And if you don't have the money, figure out a way to barter your labor or barter your services or something so that you can get going.
Okay. What areas of Baltimore would you say you can buy distressed properties for a good price right now? And are there any specific areas you would advise to not invest in?
So, again, I think like that Johns Hopkins area, I think primarily it's like zip code 212, maybe 05 and 21213. I mean, it's a lot of areas in Baltimore with cheap houses. But again, it's areas where they were cheap houses when I was a kid and they're still cheap houses. So I don't know, I don't really subscribe to the strategy of if you see a house for $5,000 to buy it, because I've just seen the prices just so stagnant over decades and decades and decades. And so those are 2 areas that I feel like is progress going on where you can get reasonable comps. And, it's I feel like if you can't, like I said, for me, for most part, I do fix and flip. So I look for properties where if I can't fix and flip it, I can keep it as a rental and it'll still cash flow. So those are kind of the areas that I focus on the most and I know the most about. Man, like I said, most of my stuff is East Baltimore. So I would say to check out that area, 21205. If you pull up a map, you'll see Johns Hopkins Hospital. And then you can research and see the area of focus that they're working on there. And 21213, it's all right in that same area. I mean, for a cheaper house where, you can probably still get good cash flow and not be all in too much.
All right, and while you're looking for the next question, I will say this. I I actually just launched a new business with my other partners. I have a ISA, and you know, they actually got laid off from a different company, man. So I picked up about 12 different ISAs. They're all already trained. So if anybody needs actual inside sales people to make phone calls for you, I've been using them for 2 years. I use them to pick up my listings, and I also use them. They call expired leads for me, and they call on my list for my circle of prospecting when I want to pick up. They're already trained. They already have their scripts, and they work. They do set plenty of appointments for me. You know, I haven't used them a lot since March because I'm not going to appointments, you know, but they do, they definitely get a lot, and it's inexpensive. You know, we started like at 2,000 a month if you want somebody to work 40 hours a week, and it's 1,200 a month if you want them to work 20 hours a week, and then it's 900 a month if you want them to work 10 hours a week. Now that they are more expensive than the Filipino callers. They're like $4 an hour, but to these guys, they're already trained. They don't have anywhere near the accent as a Filipino has, and you know, they are monitored. They already know what I like. You know, they have my scripts. They already done. So if anybody does want to have people making phone calls for you, then you can definitely send me a DM, man. And listen, the business is brand new. I don't have a website for it yet, so you know, you're getting the first scoop. So definitely hit me up. All right.
My family owns 19 acres of land in Newberry, South Carolina. How can I find out what it's worth or what to do with it to make money?
We'll buy it. No, I don't know. Nah, you can definitely. Here's the thing, man. I don't know anything about South Carolina, but I am willing to learn. Ramon is definitely the guy to invest other places, and you know, what I would probably do is you could reach out and to me and or Ramon, and we'll work. We'll give you some ideas. I don't even know where Newberry, South Carolina is, but I'm sure we could come up with a plan to help you out.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rashawn. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Asia. No, you go ahead.
No, I could kind of answer that because I got family in South Carolina. So I know the first thing that I would personally do is find out my zoning, like what I could do there, and then like get my soil tested to see what I could possibly build on it or grow. Because I know a lot of people in South and North Carolina who use their land for hemp, and because you know hemp goes into very different things. So that could be one way they could do it. Or if they know a builder who want to start building there, they can like do a 99-year lease or something like that. But other than that, then yeah, they probably have to talk to somebody maybe that's local to their area. But I mean, you could do a lot with 19 acres. Like that's a lot of land.
It's a lot.
Ramon, did you have something?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say what Asia said. First of all, figure out what is on, and then you know you really need a survey. I mean, before you can start talking to anybody. I know some people don't want to pay for that survey, but you need to know what you own, and then you need to know, you know, if is any water on there, you know, and then figure out what's being built around there. Like if you got 19 acres, and again, I don't know where that part of South Carolina is either. But if it's on, you know, agricultural, maybe you can go get a USAID loan and build something and almost live for free. Like it's so many options to do with that kind of land. Maybe you can put some trailers on it. It's, you know, the mobile home business is amazing. So again, you got to figure out what you can do with it first. And that's a phone call or go on the internet to figure out what's on and what you can do with it.
Yes, a small town like that, you could probably call City Hall and they answer in the first ring. You know, you can just tell them.
Okay. Asia, I'm new to investing and I would like to know what are the first steps I should start with, business accounts or business loans, etc.
Wait, hold on real fast. Rashana, how many more questions do we have?
30 questions. Like they keep coming in.
We don't have to. What we're gonna do is be on for 3 hours. One's supposed to be 2 hours. That's a long question. You can send her an inbox. Is there any, you know, I want to ask like 1 or 2 more, you know, questions I think that might need to be answered.
Okay.
That's really important.
I wasn't sure. I thought you was trying to get through all the questions.
No,
right.
no.
Cause I could have swore I was like, this was going down. Now these numbers is going up.
And
No.
Malik, while she's doing that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I want you to cash out me for using my initials in your promotions behind you, RT. I do own all the rights to RT. We've trademarked the initials. So I appreciate you though.
I know that. I know that's right.
Don't get your coins.
I know that's right. Look, that's the last question. I'll just okay, so last question. What do you guys think about FHA?
I think personally, FHA is a great way to get started. I think that people don't realize you could buy up to 4 units with FHA. People don't realize you could buy a commercial mixed use with FHA, which means in the city of Philadelphia, you could have a storefront and 3 apartments, FHA putting 3.5% down. So if you want a hair salon, a barber shop, a restaurant, as long as the living area is 51% of the building, you only got to put in a 3.5% FHA. I like it. I love FHA. For that.
Right. Yeah. Look, speaking of 2 flats, I got a 2-flat for sale in Chicago. Anybody want to use that FHA 3.5% down? I got like a storage unit the size of like a 4-car garage on the back of a 2-unit, a 2-flat, and you can go ahead and use that FHA loan, 3.5% down. Let me know. And the cap rate, it's about 18%.
Oh, that's a 18% is a lot of money. Everybody, you should definitely tap in. 18% is a great return. What that means is you're going to get your money back in 5 to 6 years. Whatever you should definitely look into that. One more question that somebody asked, I'm gonna let Asia answer. Do you have to live in Detroit to bid on land bank properties?
No, you do not. You did at first, but then they opened it up to everybody. So nope.
All right, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is when I end this, I think I'll still be able to see the questions that you posted, and I'll try to respond to the questions at a later date. Just not.
Oh, you know what? Malik, I did see one question I wanted to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody had asked me a question. Where is it? Okay, it said, Rashana, how did you grow your realtor business to top agent status while also being busy with your personal investments? And while working a 9 to 5. So basically it started with my brand, to be honest. It started with me believing, who I was and knowing what I wanted to do. And I actually had what a lot of people have. I think actually one of the panelists said something about it earlier. So I had imposter syndrome, right? And I feel like a lot of people, they let that stop them get in the way of like sharing their story and posting. And it's just a matter of sharing your story. So like when I understood, it was like, okay, how many people would have been left, uninspired if I did not share my story? And so it wasn't about me saying like, oh, I'm a guru, I'm an expert or anything like that. I was just trying to figure it out. And along my, me trying to figure it out, I was just sharing my story, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the ugly, everything. And so I'll include, working and going to my 9 to 5. Like I was going on closings on my lunch break. Like I would be at an inspection at 7 o'clock in the morning before work. I would get off of work and I'm going to showings. I even moved closer to my job so I could get home from work. I take the bus home, hop in my car, and then go to showings, And so you gotta have a hustle, but then you also just gotta, figure out what you want to do, and then do it really, because when you look up and like for me, and I'm not one of those 9 to 5 bashers or anything like that, but I knew that my job was it served a purpose, and that was it. And it was to, make sure that I was stable and I was good so I could, build my business. But, so that is, I would say, the main way that I get started. And like I said, just growing and hustling. And then also too, like I said, in terms of the marketing and social media and grow my brand, like you guys, there's like for some people who are on here, you're an investor, you say you want to invest, but you aren't sharing enough of your story and sharing what you do. You guys definitely need to start there.
Listen, and as she said, man, look, and how to find more deals is to do deals. When people see you out there buying houses, they can like, oh, I got one. You want it? And as long as they like you and trust you, they gonna start sending you deals. I mean, everything I get, people send me. I don't even look for that many deals that much. People, people send me stuff, man. And so just let them know. Make sure your numbers everywhere. Make sure you're accessible, and then you can find those opportunities. But like I said, I think the questions will be saved. I'm going to, as long as I don't click the wrong button, I'll save this video, and I will, and I am going to. Listen, if anybody wants it, matter of fact, I'll just email it, to everybody in here, and everybody that attended, I'll send you a copy, and you can watch it back at your leisure, and I'll give it to the host. If the host want it, they can do whatever they want to do with it, and pack it out. But everybody, we will be in contact with you later on. Since you showed up, we will have some other stuff, coming up. Maybe we get, we might all come to Detroit, go on a tour. Ramon might take us on the world tour of, the Montgomery. Matter of fact, he's raising capital for his next project, so we might do a road trip, then Alabama, So, and Birmingham has a spectacular civil rights museum if anybody wants to go see it. And they got the House of Pancakes, which is good too in Birmingham. So we can eat good and see civil rights, right? Right, we can do all that. I don't want us in Baltimore, so we wouldn't even go to Baltimore. Except unless we go to the harbor, we can highlight. We put it together. But listen, once again, everybody is 3 hours. Only supposed to be 2. We lasted 3. I appreciate everybody for staying on, and definitely tap in with us. We all keep sharing the information, sharing the knowledge, man. And once again, I appreciate all the panelists for joining in. And I hope to see you guys soon. So I can wait till COVID is over. After I get my vaccine, y'all gotta get yours after I get mine. I'm straight. And then we get, I can be in the streets, and I'm gonna see y'all again. All right.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
I appreciate y'all.
Everybody have a good one, y'all.
Yeah. All right,
Take
thanks,
care.
Alessandra.